Hello everybody, welcome to the Rat Nest. How is everyone doing today? Welcome in Selexion, Quest, Samponi, Girari, everyone else. Today we are doing a special discussion stream today. We are going to talk about AI in the arts and entertainment industries. So first let me bring myself up. Actually no, yeah, go on. I think I'll introduce myself. I'm a PNGtuber. Okay, 5 years later. Sorry, it's kind of a rush getting everything ready because this all settles just in the last minute. But hey, welcome in everyone. A rat. Yes, I am a rat. Squeak, 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 etc. So yeah, as you guys probably noticed in the last few days, I just got in. Yeah, welcome in. Welcome in. How you doing? So like I said, we're doing a special collab stream with Girari 40. Oh, okay, Girari's now live. I was born in this year of the rat. Lucky you, I was born in the year of the ox. So yeah, we are going to be joining Girari and the others in a few minutes. BRB, just have to put this away before the stream, then I can join in the conversation. Yeah, just a quick disclaimer, guys. We are going to be covering some sensitive topics involving the use of AI art. As you probably guessed, most of us here are probably against AI for the obvious reasons. But for those who are in support of AI, if you are in the chat, please keep your opinions respectable, regardless of which side of the debate you're on. Also, you are free to ask me and the other hosts any questions regarding any of the topics we covered. So feel free to join in. Also, we're going to be doing some giveaways. So every 5 followers or subscribers will get Gerard will give away a free game to you guys. Okay, thanks for Lurks and Pony. Yeah, so Gerard's going to give away some free games for every 5 followers. I'll let him know. So without further ado, let's hop in. Right, I'm gonna boop that switch. Wow. Hello?
Aloha.
Aloha. Also, Questy's getting to her place.
Good.
Apparently.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous about this as well. This is actually literally the first collab stream I've done in ages. Well, there was that one time I did one with a friend of mine. We were playing Core Keeper, but I was yeah. Quest is a complete gremlin in there. Yeah, we're all sat around looking classy and stuff, and Quest is like, "I'm a gremlin." Ah!
Hi, Sanity. How you doing, sweetie? So again, me, Crystal Nuna, Nizumi Knight, and Jirari Ulfhelm are going to be live. So feel free to give them a follow as well, guys. And for those who are currently live, still give them a follow too and help support them for their future streams as well. It would be greatly appreciated.
Quest got a 4 beans.
Hope everyone is doing well today.
Yeah.
Thank you for your patience.
Oh.
There's a lot of frayed nerves, so don't be nervous, don't be fearful. Feel free to voice your own opinions. Everybody's got the right to them. There'll be no personal attacking or saying your opinion is wrong at any point in time during the stream. If we find that anybody is trolling or being abusive to anybody in the stream, we will handle it effectively, immediately, and quietly. There's no tolerance for any hatred. Not for today.
Yeah.
Because this AI podcast is very personal to some of us, especially since it's attacking a lot of our careers currently and is being abused and used, and it's just There's a lot going on that we need to break down. So when Jirari hops in and takes the lead, we will go ahead and go with the flow. And again, feel free to engage with us, add your voice, your opinions, voice statements, voice any questions that you may have, and we will answer them properly and in a timely manner. Okay, this is just like a just chatting stream, guys. Just treat it as such. And do be respectful to everybody that is also currently in our VC right now as well. You only hate sweet ended zucchinis, and nobody looks like a zucchini here to you. Oh my god. I feel that. I hate zucchinis, pickles, cucumbers,
Oh god,
anything green and phallic.
I absolutely hate pickles. Like, I always take them off of burgers whenever I get served burgers.
Same. I just did that yesterday. I was like, ew, the betrayal. You put a pickle in my sandwich. No.
Shrek's ears.
Hello.
Hello.
Jirari!
Hey,
Jerry!
everybody. Oh my gosh. Look, everybody. I got my little happy art family here.
Yep.
And I'm still on webcam too, so you guys can see my beautiful face.
Oh my
some of y'all
goodness.
miss it. My ugly face.
Oh my god, shut
Ugly
up.
mama.
Shut up, woman. Oh my
Me.
goodness. You know I can't. My goodness. How is everybody today? How are you guys doing?
Excited.
Sort of nervous, but I'll get over it
You know what?
eventually.
I was gonna say, same here. I too am nervous, but I'm also excited for this.
Yeah, it's,
How about you?
Okay.
it's
Oh, go
really
ahead.
exciting. This is a big thing.
It is.
Definitely. This is probably the biggest, like, I've done collabs before, you guys, but this is by far one of the biggest that I
Mhm.
have ever done.
Yeah,
So
this is
I
baby's.
think you guys.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go
this
ahead.
is this is
Oh, go ahead.
baby's first collab, so yeah, it's the first for me. This one.
Well, I'm thankful that you guys have all taken the time out of your day, your evening, your morning, just to hang out with me and talk about this. You know, I appreciate this a lot, you guys.
Yeah,
Of course.
of course.
Yeah, happy to do it.
Yeah, so I mean, you guys all know who these lovely people are, but you know what? I will gladly have them introduce themselves. So when you guys introduce yourself, just let us know, you know, your name, what you do on Twitch, what kind of art you do. For example, I will go first. My name is Jirari. I am half of Jirari Ulfhelm here on Twitch. I am a learning concept artist. I usually do reference sheets, I do character design, and I also am a learning writer.
Cool.
Let's go ahead and have Nuna. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, y'all. My name is Crystal Nuna. I am the sugar Nuna to hit you in the feels. I am a variety streamer here on Twitch, but I will be switching over to YouTube due to conflict of interest between Korea and Twitch. But yeah, welcome on in, guys. I am a first-time published author, and I am a crazy, sussy, wacky, no good little hobgoblin.
Oh my goodness. Thanks, Nuna. We appreciate that. My
Outshine that
goodness.
bitch.
40 or up.
Oh, hey everyone. I'm 40 Doodles, your humble holographic host. I'm a digital artist. I stream a lot of video games, a lot of obscure video games, and yeah, just excited to be here. And also, congratulations, Nuna, on publishing. That's really impressive.
Yes,
It was
congrats,
hard,
girl.
but fun.
Alrighty, Nazumi.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nazuminai. As some of you might know, I am a Bemisian for Final Fantasy, but I'm also a digital artist. I just broke out in art like 6 years ago, and I've been mostly streaming video games on Twitch, but I want to start streaming art on a regular basis again when I can. Some of the games are usually either survival horror or RPGs and open world action adventures, but I'm still trying to find my niche in that area. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
All right. And next we have Olfhelm.
Hi, I'm Ufim. I'm just a filthy software engineer and bringer of chaos.
Also the betrayer.
Yes, yes. Yes. Yes, this is yes. I'm sure somebody have mentioned it already, but we did have a special co-host who is going to be joining us, who is more on the pro AI side. I do need to ask right now as a disclaimer, not because he's my husband, you know. I mean, if you guys want to talk bad about him, I mean, I you know what? Go ahead. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Thanks.
You know, I'm just gonna go ahead and quickly get this out. Like, if there is like this podcast, you guys, is not meant to like attack AI. We all have our opinions on it. You know, we're giving it to you guys as artists, you know, whether we're illustrators, writers, you know, creative thinkers. It's just this is our opinion, you know. This isn't meant to attack anybody, you know. So we urge you people not to send anything mean-spirited, disheartening, mean, disparaging. Don't send any hate towards anybody, you know. If we talk about somebody, if we bring names up, or if you know we say something that you find offensive, you know, we're not doing this out of hate or anything, you know. It's not what we're here to talk about today. We're just giving our public opinions on how we feel on a certain subject. So yeah. So for the first half of this podcast, I'm gonna go ahead and be acting as moderator. What we're gonna be doing is talk about more so just like some general questions about how we feel about AI. We encourage anybody who is in, you know, my stream, who's in Nazumi's stream, who's in Nuna's stream. I highly encourage you guys, please feel free to chime in if you have an opinion, or if we ask a question, feel free to, you know, give us your input. We also do have some games that we had it for giveaways. If Nuna, me, or Nazumi get 5 followers or 5 subs, they will keep track of them, and we will do a game giveaway. So yeah, if you guys haven't already, please give a follow or consider subscribing to our lovely friends, Nuna and Nazumi. Also, we do have some game redeems to play. For 500 points on my channel, you guys can have either me, Nazumi, Nuna, Ulfhelm, or 40 answer a never have I ever. We could do I plead the fifth, and we also have 2 truths and 1 lie. So yeah, once you redeem it on my channel, also let us know who you want to answer the question, and we will throw that person under the bus. I have done this without their blessing, without their approval, but they can suck it up. Okay. So yeah, let me go ahead and quickly pull up my file here. Oh, wow, we've already started off with 2 truths and 1 lie, which have been redeemed by Vol. Okay, Vol, who do you want to do 2 truths and 1 lie? Do you want it to be me, 40, Nazumi, Ulfhelm, or Nuna?
Oh boy.
Oh crap.
Who's on the chopping block first?
Who's our first victim, everybody? Don't
worry,
be shy.
I came prepared just in case.
Let's spare Nazumi. Let's throw Jirari under the bus. Oh, Lord. Okay, well, Ulfhelm knows me like a book, so Ulfhelm, you can't play this game.
Well,
Let's see. 2 truths and 1 lie. Okay. So this is for anybody, and this is for anybody. If you guys want to guess in the chats, any of the people who are streaming, Nazumi, Nuna, or my chat, you can guess. You 3 and not Ulfhelm can also guess. Let's do this. Okay. So I'm gonna say 3 things about me. 2 of them are true. 1 of them is a lie. Okay. Here are the 3. Okay, there we go. I had to do some counting quickly. Okay, I have 8 tattoos, I have 7 piercings, and I have 2 fake teeth in my mouth. 2 of those are true. 1 of them is false.
I'm gonna guess tattoos.
I think it's the fake teeth.
Yeah, I'm going in for fake teeth.
Okay.
I'm saying nothing.
No, I'm just seeing what people are saying in the chats. Okay, so I do not have 2 fake teeth. I actually have one. Sorry, I had to count. I lost a tooth when I was working at FedEx as a package handler. I literally was trying to pick up a package, and it was somebody placed it on top, and it was 35 pounds. You are not supposed to place heavy packages on the top. And somebody did that, and when I went to grab it, it fell on my fucking face, and it literally caused one of my front teeth to fall out of place, so I had to get a fake one placed in.
Ooh.
I have also a crowd. Yeah, don't, like, if you ever work as a package handler, I shit you not, stack the heavy boxes on the bottom and the lightweights on top. Come on, if it's big and heavy, you don't put it on top. That's how you crush other boxes or people's fucking face. But yeah. So I don't have 2 fake teeth. I only have 1 fake tooth, but I have that many piercings and I have that many tattoos. I'm also beginning to lose track of them because I have so many goddamn tattoos and piercings. Oof, wait, yes. But yes, well, that is true. That is correct. I have 1 fake tooth and so many goddamn tattoos and piercings. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this started. Okay. Also, you guys, we are gonna eventually have Quest the Fox. Wait. I see somebody.
I think that's her.
Yeah, I'm just fixing shit. I have to be in the call to be able to like add you guys to the Fugi thing. That's why.
Hold
All
on.
right.
I'm gonna resize you.
That's
so
fine.
you
We're gonna add you in. We're gonna add you in to our Fugis.
There you go.
But I have to do it too, don't I?
Yes. Yes.
Exactly. So, that's why. So, yeah, I need to see if I could do this. I've never done this before. Oh, I see you guys. Oh my goodness. That's already something.
Reactive. Hey, there's Quest.
Hey.
Oh my God, Quest and her little gremlin. Oh, I am living for this.
Yeah. Okay, I just need to know one thing. How do I open this now in OBS?
Hold on. Vol says, "What? How are some of your feet cut off?" I ate them.
Oh wait. How do you add it? What was the question, Quest? I'm sorry.
If I open this on OBS, like it has to be like a browser source or something?
Yes, it's what you do on Fugi is once you get the link to everybody's PNGtuber, you could place it as a browser. And then make sure that the dimensions, I put the dimensions at 2000 by 2000 because I think the default is 800 by 800, and that's kind of small. There's Quest.
I will try to find this somehow. Oh yeah, I see that. The 800.
Guys, look at little Quest. Look at Quest. Does this not capture her gremlin energy? At, like,
It does.
I'm
Does
gonna
this?
cause
It's
trouble.
perfect.
Yeah, literally.
She's perfect.
Right there we go.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna fight
I
it.
hope you like it.
40, yeah, oh yeah, you guys, with the most respect, I thank 40 Doodles for also making these awesome PNG tubers of us, you guys. Like, this is why we love 40. 40 is just an awesome, talented artist. If you haven't commissioned for 40 yet, please, you gotta commission 40.
Thank you, 40.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm just happy everyone enjoys them.
You know, just maybe why this does that? Because it's like supposed to be like I don't know. Like here's like the browser source, like they're all there, but
There we go. They're saying you're here to board the Nuggies, your Dino Nuggies quest.
yeah, I'm gonna beat everyone up. Okay, Venmar explained how to like add you guys, so that's cool. Thank you, sweetie. So I'll be there in a hot second. I just need to get like everyone in, so to speak. I am so sorry that I'm so unprepared. I had fucking car issues.
Hey, Quest, if it makes you feel any better, I don't know if any of us are prepared. Like we're just here to just talk and, you know, hang out with everybody. It's just look at it as just chatting.
I'm totally here for the chatting. Like I'm here for chaos and issues, you know. I'm gonna be a problem.
There you go. Oh my god. And while Quest is doing that, Nuna has redeemed the never would I ever. Okay, Crystal, who do you want to answer the never would I ever?
You, Jirare.
Why am I being tossed around in this chat? This is not fair.
Because if you lie, I can point it out.
No, it's not never. Oh my god. This is literally no. I'm not the host. All of them are the host. This is unfair. I'm being mistreated.
So I'm assuming this means I get to ask you the question, Jirare.
Oh my god.
Yes. Make it juicy.
What?
Make it juicy?
Yes.
Okay.
Fine. TOS friendly woman.
So is this never have I ever? So it's something that I have done that I think you haven't done, correct?
Never have I ever.
Okay.
Yep.
Alrighty. I have to do this TOS though. It's hard censoring myself. Okay?
We're getting banned today, everyone.
Yeah, this is the green band version.
Sure, it's only 6 in the morning here right now.
I don't know how you can function at 6 a.m.
Welcome to my world.
This morning.
I can't do that. I go to sleep at that time.
Never have I ever called out the wrong name in bed.
What?
Are you serious?
Oh my god.
I'm serious.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Oh my god! You know what? You shouldn't be asking me this question. Okay, Othel, you should answer this question. I'm switching this up. I'm switching this. Why am I being attacked?
I'm just trying to think if you ever did. I think you have, but you weren't fully awake.
Oh my lord!
What?
What kind of a husband are you supposed to be?
Right.
What happened to my knight in shining armor?
I don't know.
My god! I asked for a knight in shining armor, not a peasant in rusty cardboard.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
haven't you seen what's over my face?
Oh my lord!
Yeah,
Oh my lord! My god!
He's fulfilling the role.
That
I'm
is.
sorry. I'm the
My
devil's
God.
advocate.
My god, you didn't just throw me under the bus. You literally shoved me under the bus and ran me over until I'm nothing but a pile of meat.
This is great.
Oh my god! Mod, shut up! Shut up, Mod! Oh my god! Oh my god! No! And Nuna! Oh my... Okay, fine. You know what? Fine. Nuna has already... I plead the fifth. Okay, fine. You know what? No. Yes, you can. But I refuse. I will refuse. If you ask me, Nuna, I swear that all that is holy. I'm just gonna say I plead the fifth. Because it is not gonna be yes, I have or no, I haven't. I'm not gonna tell you. Who do you want?
No fun.
I've been attacked the last 2 times. This is unfair. Democracy is broken, everybody. I'm quitting. I'm leaving. Where am I? I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
All right. So what exactly do I do about plead the fifth?
Okay. So basically, it's like basically truth. It's basically like truth or dare, but it's basically It's basically like you have to ask a question. It's kind of like Never Have I Ever, but it's basically, is it true that you, and instead of saying, the person either has to say yes or I plead the fifth, meaning meaning that it could mean no or it could mean yes. Like they don't want to answer it, or it's true or it's not.
Okay.
Like for an example, like if someone said, "Hey, Jirari, did you have a beer before this stream?" I could say either yes, as in I did, or I could say I plead the fifth, meaning I didn't have a beer before this stream, or I did. You won't know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So who do you want to ask?
Hmm. I'll ask Ulfhelm this question.
Oh my
Ooh.
lord.
Hmm. You mean the prior question, or
Let's see if I
a new
can
one?
ask this question in a way that makes sense. Because it sounds so good in my head, but when I'm trying to spit it out, it doesn't make quite much sense.
Do you mean so it makes sense or so it sounds TOS friendly?
Makes sense.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, have you ever wanted to reenact any of the art that you have seen with Jirare?
Oh, definitely.
Wow.
Wow.
No shame there.
What? No, absolutely, and there's plenty of it.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay. And that includes the lewd artwork too.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I know
Oh.
there's plenty already there. See, I've got no shame because it's already out there.
I hate you all.
Ooh.
Like what? How long have we been on streaming? Like what? 15 minutes and I'm already ready to call it the end. This is so unfair. Okay, so we're gonna Oh, also Quest, I got a question. Are you streaming?
I will be streaming in 2 seconds. Once I get this set up, I just have to put Doodles and Ulfhelm in, and then I got y'all, and then I'll be on.
Sweet. All right.
Yeah, because you guys have like different images like here going on Fugi, so I have to like.
Oh yeah, they're in the
Oh, yeah.
chat.
Yeah, that's why I have to like do like.
Oh.
this new,
Oh my
You know.
goodness. Yeah.
so I'll be
Okay.
there in a hot second.
Right,
All right.
Sanity?
Well, what I'm gonna tell you, Quest. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and tell you what I told the others. I'm also doing. I'm helping you guys with some game giveaways. So Nuna's streaming and Nazumi's streaming. So just like those two, if anybody gets a follow or a sub, mark it down in the chat. That way, when you guys reach 5, so if you get like 5 followers, 5 subs, 2 followers, 3 subs, you know, like 4 subs, 1 follower, just mark it down. And I have some game codes I can give you. You can do a game giveaway raffle in your stream.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
I have one question if I'm allowed to quickly ask it.
Of course.
Okay, so like I said, like on Fugi, like I have like Doodles as like a little cartoon character, but you know he gave us like that little bust. How do I change that image? And the one like Ulfhelm is also like one with like a blue background. Like how do I change it to what they posted afterwards?
So on Fugi, what you want to do is you go. Here, let me pull up
Yeah, there's a
Firefox. There we go. Okay. Oh, go ahead, Nizumi.
yeah, there's a notepad on the avatar you want to change, and there should be an option where you can actually use the user's choice of avatar, a default override, or your own override. Have you got it up?
Okay. Yeah. So like on default.
Yeah,
Right, maybe or.
yeah, default override works. It works for me.
Okay, let me see. I hope that works. Like that I could choose that instead of yes, okay. I thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Then I can change that. Okay. I will be there like in 2 seconds. My goodness. They're just gonna be peeking from behind the couch. Thank you for the help. I'm almost there. Just all film and then I'm there. Like an old strum.
It's okay. Take your time, Questy.
Appreciate y'all. Like I said, I'm sorry for all the chaos today.
Hey,
Hey, it's no
you
worries.
don't have to apologize, Quest. We're happy that, hey, we're happy. If anything, we're happy you still managed to come in and hang out with us. With that, we appreciate that.
Of course. I mean, I'm always there when it comes to chaos.
I mean, you are a gremlin.
Yeah, we have, like, everybody here in their own way is a troublemaker. And why I thought this was a good idea, I'll never know.
It's the best.
Yeah, I clearly picked the wrong group. I picked nothing but backstabbers and gremlins.
You're the one who put me in the back.
At least somebody's getting something.
Alright.
Oh no, not that clip. That was my accidental chipmunk voice.
I liked it.
No.
My microphone was glitching out.
Oof.
Okay. I'm live. There's no just like warning like hello, I'm going live. It's just I'm live. No stream starting, you know, I'm just here. Let's just start with the chaos like right away. Yeah, so I'm here. Ah, Crystal, thank you for following that by the same
You're welcome.
occasion. Okay, so I'm totally here now. Yay!
So while you're setting up, Quest, why don't you go ahead and, I mean, give us an introduction of who you are, just so everyone else who is streaming knows who the lovely gremlin Dino Nuggy you are.
Yes.
The little gremlin you are.
Hello! So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Quest the Fox. I started out as a traditional artist, now I'm a digital artist, and I like nuggies. I don't know, I'm just all over the place as a type of person. I've been doing digital art, I think, for a year now? Yeah. That's who I am. I'm wild. I bite as well.
And one thing
I'm
I
bad at
really...
introductions, man.
It's fine. But one thing I could say, especially following Quest, is I have seen Quest improve. Like, Quest has improved so much in digital media. Because when I met Quest, I knew she did traditional art, and when she went over to Clip Studio, you know, just like that, like she's out there like doing like, you know, professional shading, professional color grade. I'm just sitting there like, huh? How do people do this? Why is there like I respectfully, of course, I respectfully get jealous of Quest's improvement because she's improved so quickly.
Oh.
And I have so much respect for that.
I think it's funny because like I literally when I stream I have no clue what I'm doing. Like when I do art, I have no clue what I'm doing. And it somehow works. It's great. I do my best, that's all I know.
Yeah, and see the thing is you guys, and I'm speaking as a happy customer from all of these artists because I have purchased Nuna's book. I read it when I go to the gym on my Kindle. I have commissioned many arts from 40. I've commissioned art from Nezumi, and I've commissioned art from Quest. And I could say I am a happy customer from all three of these artists and Nuna's talented writing.
That's so sweet.
Oh, thank you.
Aw.
So yeah, I highly recommend when they're open, when they are open, if you haven't already, I highly recommend as a happy customer, Quest, Nezumi, and 40. And if you are a reader, I highly recommend Nuna's book. In fact, Nuna, what is your could you send your link to your Amazon your book that's on Amazon? Because if you guys haven't, it is
Yes,
available for
sir.
Kindle and physical copy.
I shall nab it for you right now and type it in your chat. There you go.
Sweet.
I was just gonna ask, like, so like everybody's kind of like on the same page maybe with this. Like, what is your book about?
So basically,
That's a good question.
my book takes place in modern day Japan. This is girl who's just fresh out of high school. She's about to graduate, but she ends up getting pulled into a demon world, and she can't figure out why she's being tracked down in attempted assassination by the demon lord. But she comes to find out that she is the reincarnation of a 3,000-year-old priestess, and he wants her dead because he wants to use her powers. So she's trying to fight off all sorts of mythological creatures from all over the world to try to find her way back home.
That is wild.
Ooh, sounds interesting.
And it all
It
started
does.
as a dream I had.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
That's interesting.
Yep.
That's cool. Just like making a book out of like a dream. That's awesome.
Yep. It was cool. Yeah, if you enjoy fantasy, that's like a cross between Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, and Stranger Things, you'll enjoy the book.
Ooh.
wow.
I love all those things.
Good.
I'll definitely ask it then. Yeah, I'm like a huge fan of Lord of the Rings, and I also like Stranger Things. Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I'm a Game of Thrones nerd.
I watched it, but I'm gonna copy that and post it on my channel too because someone was just asking. Where to find your book? So,
Am I able to post the link in your chat?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I shall
Because
do that.
DNF
for
was just asking that. They were like, "Oh,
There
that's
you go.
interesting." There you go, DNF. It's in the chat. You could check.
Okay, there you
Here,
go.
let me quickly.
There's
let
in
me
my
make
chat
sure
as well.
I'm also. Let me also make sure I am lurking in everybody's Twitch stream. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna be in all your guys' streams just so I could stream snipe you guys. Yep. No, just kidding. Okay, so what we could do is we'll go ahead and get started. You came just in time, Quest. Like we're getting ready to start, so we're happy that you managed to get here in time, and we're happy. We're just happy to see you, and we're happy that you're safe and sound and warm now. So, because yeah.
Yeah, I froze way too often today. My
Oof.
God. Yeah, the stress today, man. I don't need that shit anymore. I'm happy to be here.
Well, we're happy that you are here.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get started with the first half. Basically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna just answer. We're gonna basically do some debate. I'm gonna ask a question. I'll then ask, for your guys' opinion when called. There are some rules I want to quickly bring out. So, if you're not talking, can you please mute your Discord mic? That way, the other people are able to talk. You're more than welcome to talk with your audience, your stream. Chat, you're more than welcome to do that, but just make sure that you also are on mute in Discord, just so you're not talking over the person who's, giving their feedback and whatnot. And the other thing is, you guys don't have to do just chatting if you guys are someone who, needs to like do something in the background, whether it's drawing or something like a relaxing game, or if you're somebody who does good under high anxiety and you want to play a really anxious game, by all means, you can do that too. Also, the other thing is, don't be afraid to debate with us. I think, as I mentioned to Nezumi and Nuna and 40 earlier, we all have our opinions when it comes to AI art. So I do ask that if you want to debate with somebody, or if there's something that somebody says that you don't agree with, by all means, when we're done giving our input on the question, I'll ask if anybody is wanting to debate about anything. There is a difference between saying, "Oh, you're wrong because that's not true," or "That's not right," or just saying, "Hey, I agree," or I hear you. Here's why, or like, here's why I don't understand that statement, or just like I said, we can debate. We're allowed to debate. We're allowed to agree and disagree. So this isn't hate towards anybody or anyone. So please, I do ask that everybody respect everybody's opinions on the questions. Okay.
Okie dokie.
All right. So I will go ahead and start the first half. We'll then take a 15-minute break, and then I'll pass the moderator on to Nuna, and Nuna will take over. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's start off with some basic, opinionated questions. So the first question is, where do you stand with AI? Like, just in general, where do you stand with AI? Let's go ahead and start with 40.
All right, put me on the spot. So from my perspective, I'm pretty much against it right now. I don't think that, like, a lot of people say that, like, oh, this is Skynet, this is the future. I don't think this is there yet. Right now, this is not the technology that they're promising. And the way that it's being used now is to put a lot of people out of work, diminish other people's value, and like in general, kind of serving a worse product. And the fact that it's being promoted so hard by larger companies is also not a good sign about its legitimacy. So, in my opinion, I'm pretty strongly against it unless like something changes. Because as it is right now, I don't think it's ethical or effective at what it's being used for.
Alrighty, thank you, 40. Quest, where do you stand with AI?
I'm actually kind of like on the other end. Way. Like, okay, so I am not okay when people use it for kind of like commission wise, when they get like paid to do AI work. I am also like, the thing is, I like AI when it's just used as a tool. Like, for example, it's great for having maybe like an idea of like a pose, or maybe like a background or something, kind of like just to get like an idea of something that you might want to do, because it can be used in a creative way. I am just not okay with it if someone says like, here, like, I could do some art of your character, boom, and it's like AI art, and in my opinion, it's not going to be a thing of the future, because first of all, like, I have looked around at AI stuff, and my gosh, things are wonky. Like, like a shoulder will become like a second arm all of a sudden, or like a leg is like an arm, or, toes are like all wonky. Like, you could tell most of the time if art is AI art. And I saw a funny video also the other day. This guy's like asking, AI to like take out chopsticks out of like this image, and they just kept putting more chopstick and other chopsticks, and like, it wasn't doing what it was asked to do. So when it comes to art, like I said, like, I'm okay when it's used as a tool, something that you could, like, maybe use as like a little reference, to help you out for like a pose, or something that you're trying to like express, but you can't find a way to like talk about it. But yeah, when it comes to commissions, just no. And then it also depends on what hands AI comes into, because it could also be pretty dangerous if it's used like for political reasons and stuff like that. So yeah, it's kind of like my stance on it.
Alrighty, thank you, Quest. Nuna, what do you think?
Oh boy. So I'm right now against it. There needs to be some sort of regulation with it. I think of this from a legal perspective. It's not okay to be using copywritten material and feed it to the AI so it can spit back the same material or similar material. There is a difference between getting permission from copyrighted material versus what's out there that's called fair use. Right now, it is a breach of contract and a breach of trust by using AI in its current condition, breaking the law by obtaining copyrighted material illegally and then making money off of it in return. So currently, I'm against it because it's being used and abused, and it's only profiting those who are generating the AI, and it's making people lose money, and people are going out of businesses and they're losing their jobs, and it's just not a good thing right now. The way it's currently, it's not used properly. It needs to be heavily regulated. And they need to learn the difference between fair use and copyright, which I will explain a little later in the podcast. That's my opinion.
Alrighty, thank you, Nuna. Nizumi?
Okay. I'm actually in the opinion that AI is not really useful in its current state. Like Nuna said, it does need to be heavily regulated because in its current form, people are just using it to like kill off creative jobs, and it's it's killing off creative jobs, and it's also creating an unfair competition in commercial use and like that. But yeah, it could have some use in the future, but in its current form, not right now. It does need to be heavily regulated. Yeah, that's it.
Alrighty, thank you, Nizumi. Old Pound, what about you?
So I've been using different AIs for years, from the more primitive ones to the more advanced ones now. Just I see as unfortunately by necessity, because I'm also coming from an industry of coders that those jobs are basically being sacked left and right over the last year and will continue to do so. And I see the subpar products it can produce, but then I've spent enough time with it that I can actually guide it and have it do things faster than I could think myself. So I think that at this point it's a lot more useful than people actually realize, but because people are still dipping their toes in versus I was using AI back the GPT-2 when that was openly released. So I just have to be able to keep up with the time, sadly. And as far as the regulation goes, my fear right now sort of mirrors the fear of the person who originally assembled the book's 3D data set, which is that if the regulation goes a particular way, only the largest corporations will control all of the power and will just use AI for their own means. So, like Getty Images producing its own AI generated images from its vast collection from decades, or Adobe, or Square Enix, or even some of the book publishers. Right now, they're fighting solely because they realize their value, but that doesn't mean that they're going to necessarily help the creators. If the regulation goes a certain way, only billion-dollar companies will produce the AI, and it'll still put everyone out of work. So I'm somewhat more tentative as far as what regulations should go in, because I've seen similar things happen in like the e-cigarette market, where Juul had regulations put in such a way where it was the only game in town in some places. So, yeah.
Alrighty, thank you, Old Pound. So, like, look, I have mixed feelings because I agree. Yes, AI is. There is some issues where I feel AI is getting out of hand, especially when it comes to things like, deep fakes or like, mimicking someone's voice with softwares out there like 11 Labs and whatnot. But like what Quest said, I could see it as, being used as a resource for, like improving in art, or, just as a reference, because when you look, especially in illustration, when you look at illustrators, one of the greatest ways you can improve in illustration is by referencing other pictures, but it's not like, you just go tracing their art and then calling it yours. You could look at it like how this is drawn or how that shape looks, and then you can apply it to your own style. So for like personal, like practicing and whatnot, especially with AI illustration, I don't have an issue with that. When it comes to AI illustrations, though, for profit, that is something that I am very, very much so against. You know, most art people out there will call themselves artists and can use that as an excuse to sell art, or you know, the fact that people have access to create AI art. It's, I feel, putting illustrators, you know, out of business, because it's like, hey, someone could say it as, hey, I don't need to commission anybody. I can just create my own AI art and have my own fantasy created that way. You know, so and for personal use, I could see it being beneficial, but just for like AI in general, I feel like it robs people from jobs. I feel like it can like get people in trouble, especially with how we can replicate people's like likeliness, whether it's like a deep fake or like their voices, you know, it's possible to do that. Like Nozumi said, it's still not like quite there or still fully believable, but the fact that it didn't take this long to get here, it's kind of scary. So that's my input. So we'll go ahead and open up for debates. Does anybody have anything they want to say?
Yeah, I definitely agree to like what you were saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll chime in. I actually want to say, Olfhelm, you bring up a good point because, like, when it was first just like AI generated images, like at that level, it was just annoying. But like what you said with corporations, that is a big factor because that's when jobs started like disappearing, and unfortunately, especially in America, but I know that like a lot of places deal with this issue. Once a corporation gets involved, they'll do whatever they can to like make some extra money. So that's kind of where like the extra nefariousness comes in, and why I think you make a good point of like not only should it be regulated, but also regulated very specifically so that like because again, unfortunately, companies will always try to find a way to like sneak between the rules. So it would definitely need some specific regulation, but unfortunately, like in the U.S., there's not much. I feel like our politicians aren't super knowledgeable about the internet and like how it's used or like new technology, and as a result, they're slow to respond to stuff like this. But yeah, I think you bring up a good point where like this really becomes an issue once like companies get involved, and like regulation will be something that eventually we have to like look into for not just people's like businesses but also like their safety, because I'm seeing some people bring it up in chat that some AI generated stuff could be used to like hurt people as well, both uh, like politically but also just emotionally, like creating incriminating footage, or even just like defamation, like content warning, but like stuff like generating revenge porn of some you don't like. Like that's unfortunately something that's already started, and with some of the AI technology I've been seeing, especially one I saw briefly that like lets you like take a image and just like immediately rig it up for animation. That could be very easily exploited for like nefarious means. But yeah, overall, just saying like I see where you're coming from, Olfhelm, and yeah, I think regulation is going to be very important in the future.
Actually, I was gonna say it's really important now. Some years ago, there was an article, even mother that was using deep fakes of their daughter's rivals in cheerleading to pressure them to basically kill themselves. And I think I've seen more than one report, even recently, about those kinds of stories where we're not just talking about two adults, but even using it against children.
No.
It's already there.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
jeez.
at that point when like kids are being targeted, like there really has to be some regulation. Like it's like this is like tangentially connected. I don't want to like take up too much time, but it's
You're
sort of
fine,
like
Marty.
it's sort of like with like the crypto scene where that was all about like oh, we won't be regulated, we won't let the man keep us down. But then like once you started seeing the stuff that they were getting up to, especially when like the whole crypto land started becoming a thing, that there was a lot of like nefarious like intentions with like using this new technology. So yeah, like our government has to get better about regulating this stuff fast because, like I said, there's already like really awful like things being done using this technology.
Yeah, yeah, regulation should be definitely something that I think should be imposed when it comes to AI stuff. That's for sure. Because like, yeah, it really depends like along what lines it goes. But I think it should definitely have, you know how there's like, am I like also? I hope I'm not interrupting anyone. By the way,
No, it's all right.
my brain is like a squirrel.
Oh yeah, you're good. I was done.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're fine.
I just wanted to make sure. Because like I forgot exactly what it's called, but for example, like cops, how they're not like allowed to give out personal information. It's like the lean something, lean act or lean law, something like that. But like pretty much like where they're not allowed to like give out personal information. Like use like their police stuff, to like find out your names and whatnot, like on the computer. They're not allowed to like give out your personal information to anyone. I think that it would be good if it has like something kind of like along that type of line that you're not allowed to like use it against someone. And yeah, like it definitely needs like other regulations too, but that should already be like a pretty good like starting point. Pretty much like if you have like already like regulations that it can't be used against someone and against their what they do, their freedom and whatnot. Like I don't know if you guys get like what I'm trying to like get at, but like that would already be like a pretty good starting point.
Yeah.
To like a person like IRL.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. It seems kind of similar to issues we're seeing with data possession, and how we're still like seeing issues with like companies like selling and trading data for profit. Like, unfortunately, a lot of people's personal information is out there and just kind of being like handed off to whoever. But yeah, like something like that where it's just kind of restricting like who has access to this, like to either the technology or the repositories that they use. I think that would be pretty important, and even just like making it easier to opt out of these things. Like, I feel like that would be like really beneficial because I know a few people actually like migrated out of certain websites or apps because they were uh, brought into it by like default. Like that's kind of why I stopped posting stuff on Twitter because now everything on Twitter is up for grabs for AI text and image generation. I know a few other artists who have also had to do the migration because of that.
Yeah, true. I did hear about that. Yeah.
Yeah, DeviantArt actually did that as well. When they started switching to AI art on that site, they automatically opted everyone into that program, and a lot of big time artists were really pissed. One of them even did a massive campaign to actually say, "Hey, can you give us an option to opt out of this?" And eventually, DeviantArt did eventually cave in, and the option to have AI art submitted to an AI program on there is now available.
Yeah, and and that's what bothers me because I'm sorry, isn't DeviantArt isn't that a website that used to have a slogan that used to basically be like power to the artist or something like that? Like they were very
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I
like,
think.
go ahead.
I think it's kind of.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think it's kind of like tone deaf because they used to have tools which help detect NFTs in place, but now they pull this, and it's like, well, which guys do you want? Which guys are you in favor of? Do you want to protect artists' rights, or are you just going to sell them off for like image generations or whatnot?
Yeah, that was my concern. Even with as far as the regulation goes, is you've got companies like DeviantArt, which have spent what 20 plus years building up giant repositories of data, and now that they know the technology exists, if nothing stops them, they're just going to turn on a switch and just harvest the whole thing in one shot. They don't even have to scrape. So it's kind of the same fear of the way Disney could control copyright by just influencing Congress to keep extending another 20 years, another 20 years. We already have corporations that have already proven that they don't care. They're just looking for a new avenue for profit. They're just trying to get their share price up at this point.
Yep.
Yeah, like this will be a quick thing I bring up. We'll probably like discuss it later, but yeah, like just like you said, like the desire for profit is like a huge motivator for this, and I've said it before on my own stream, but like business people don't actually know anything about making money or running a business. But it seems like maybe the only like way to get like these bigger companies to understand that is to make this stuff like not profitable. Because I mean, I've seen like multiple businesses say like, "Hey, we're doing NFTs," or "Hey, we're doing AI art," and immediately people are like pulling out of that service. So that might help, but at the same time, if it's enticing enough, like corporations will like try to get it running, like whether people are interested or not. Like again, like the whole not knowing how to make money. Apparently now it's more of a like people are like in their minds, companies are owed that money, so they think that they just have to keep on doing it until eventually consumers like finally give up and just give them all they want. So again, just I'm trying to keep my socialist hat off for this, but a lot of this stuff comes back to just like companies running wild and just doing whatever they want to get as much profit as possible.
Yeah, I also agree with that. Like, I think, like, for them, it's like, whatever brings the most profit and whatever is fast. You know, like, that's what they also want to do is, like, whatever, because, like, with AI, you know, you could create a piece in, like, seconds. And I think that's for them, you know, also, you know, like, time is money, as people always say. So I think that, you know, they also like that aspect that it's just really quick and you could get, like, anything, like, whipped up in a, like, few seconds with AI. And you know whatever yeah is quick and brings profit, you know, they'll use it however they feel right, and yeah, they don't care who's affected by it or not.
Yeah, Deathesper in my chat is making a good point. The problem is AI is too broad of a term. AI has been around since the 70s, but until deep neural networking started, no one called it AI. It was just computer assisted design. No one saw what the breakthrough of the 90s and the huge leap silicon technology, with increasing the amount of teraflops can be processed at one time using relatively affordable hardware. Imagine digital art program that could automatically help you draw a circle or a rectangle that's also AI making that. My issue is regulation will either be too broad or too precise to target the actual problem. You make a really good point with that.
Hmm.
But the thing is, what's currently being used, like in Photoshop and whatnot, those are not being pulled from copyrighted materials. And then they're making money off of that copyrighted materials. That's already been set and it's theirs and that's it. But in the current AI use right now, everybody is using everybody else's work to make a profit off of that work. And that's what I'm against AI for. I mean, like what Sanity said earlier in the chat about using AI for coding, that makes perfect sense because that makes the coder work a bit faster. That makes their job faster. That's perfect. That makes perfect sense. If it makes your job easier in that sense, that's perfectly fine to use AI. But the problem is they're abusing AI and only making profits and then taking it from other people's works and making profit off of that work is basically illegal. Because again, you're breaking copyright. You don't have the correct permissions to be able to use that material to make money off of. And people are saying, oh, yeah, it's fair use. If it's on the internet, it's available for everybody to use. That is incorrect. So they're using the terminologies incorrectly and they're abusing the ability to be able to use AI inappropriately. And that's where we run into the problem. Also with regulations. who has the right to decide the regulations? What is the regulation board going to be like? Are they going to be more towards businesses, or are they going to be more towards the creators? That's the issue that we're running into right now that we all need to talk about and discuss and kind of help reform, because people are going to continuously abuse it until someone says something about it to incite change.
I might be able to talk about the abuse with the coders actually. So as
Mhm.
far as the coding goes, OpenAI, which Microsoft now owns half of and basically controls their board due to recent fiascos, they bought GitHub. And GitHub was the largest at the time independent company that had stored open source material for those projects. Every one of those projects was under an open license saying you can take my project, you can modify my project, you could even possibly resell it, but you can do anything with it. And a lot of different companies, billion-dollar companies included, work off of open source because that way they've got compatible code. Now what I've seen, and I've even tested myself, is I can take someone's open source project even, run it through the AI, tell it I need you to optimize for this architecture, use these instructions, use this library. I could basically, if I wanted to, sack a team and just fix what the AI does when it does it wrong as a mid-level programmer who's been in the industry for 7 years. And that's my actual fear is that they're going to basically, just looking at it now, they could destroy all the entry-level positions in coding if they wanted to, replace it with an AI and just leave it to senior staff that when the AI makes 1 or 2 mistakes, because we had other experience, we're the ones fixing it. So those jobs are already being destroyed, and that's still going to continue, and ultimately it's going to end up being the same fear that people have, for example, during the Hollywood strikes. If you start getting rid of all the entry-level positions, then whole industries are going to atrophy, and then the only people who can ever do well are the established billion-dollar companies. Startups won't have enough people to be able to break their chops to figure out what they're doing. So, and that's the sad thing, is that this was in the license of all of these softwares they harvested. It was GNU, MIT license, Apache license. These were already, you could take my thing and run with it. And what's changed is that a major corporation bought what held all those repositories and didn't even have to go elsewhere on the internet. It just harvested itself. And it's now selling that as a service. So, yeah.
Okay. I will quickly add one quick thing, and then we'll go on to the next question. Because does anybody have any questions in your streams, Nezumi Quest, Nuna?
Hold on, yeah,
Because somebody asked.
yeah, Vol's got a question here. He says, I work at a publicity agency that does logo and brand design, among other things. At my office, there's a meme hanging around that says, for AI art to replace us, clients will have to accurately describe what they exactly want. We'll be safe. What are your thoughts about that meme?
Okay, so we'll start off this time with Quest.
Let me quickly reread it because like my brain.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, that's true. I'm coming back to this one video that I saw. The thing is, AI is not perfect yet. Like this guy, he literally just asked AI to show a picture of ramen noodles with chopsticks. A bowl of ramen noodles, and there was chopsticks. And he asked in like every time specifically to remove the chopsticks, and they did not remove it. And then she said, he would ask the AI like, "What are those 2 brown things?" Chopsticks. And he's like, "Why are they not gone?" And then like at the end there was like even 3 of them instead of like 1 or 2. And like I said, it is pretty wonky sometimes. So like I don't think that it will replace people who could actually think and do things correctly in the first place. And like I said, I've seen so many AI art where someone's leg is an arm, or like I said, toes are like completely crippled, like it does have its flaws. And it doesn't have intelligence like a human, common sense. So in that regard, I don't think that like yeah, AI would have to do like crazy stuff to potentially replace humans. Yeah, I think it still has its flaws. So like yeah, I don't think that meme is like incorrect.
Okay.
Alrighty. Nuna, what about you?
I find the whole meme kind of ironic because there is a grammatical error in it. I'm assuming that is the whole point because when AI generates stories or written words, a lot of the times they're jarbled, they're scrambled, they don't make sense, the tenses are not correct, the pronoun usages are not correct, and everything like that. So when they said "will be save" is
Yeah,
improper,
it
and I
was
think
will
that's
be
kind of the
safe.
whole point of yeah, it's supposed to be "will be saved" past tense or past tense continuous. So the irony is AI still cannot replace creative avenues because of the fact that AI it just it basically just vomits back what you've put into it. There's no creative ingenuity when it comes to AI. Yes, it can replicate and reproduce, but that's all it does. Kind of like what Hollywood is doing now or what Disney is doing now with its remakes. It's just vomiting back the same shit, which is a slight variation, and that's exactly what it does. So there is no creative or 100% positive way to say that AI can't replace us as humans because it we cannot have computers be creative. It's just not gonna happen. They don't have the same thought process that we humans do. Computers can't dream. My dreams are creative. I can replicate that and turn it into a book.
Yeah,
But AI cannot do that. Therefore, they cannot fully replace us.
yeah. If you ask an AI what love is, all right. Let me ask you guys a question. When I say draw two people in love, what comes to mind?
Yeah, exactly. That could be very different.
Um, I would assume two people in love.
Like I would maybe draw them in like some sort of like lovey-dovey pose, you know, like maybe cuddling on a bed or sharing a drink together or, you know, kissing, you know, something like that. But I mean, it could be like replicated in different ways. You know, you can do different poses, different themes for it. It's vast. It's yeah.
Yeah, it's a very complicated emotion. A machine's not gonna imagine what love is. It's just gonna rely heavily on exact inputs. Humans, we can just imagine what we can in our minds. So yeah, it's kind of hard to actually fully replace humans with AI arts because we have the ability to think up our own interpretation what certain scenarios are.
Yeah, this is a quick example, but one way I kind of conceptualize the issue that AI has is actually from the movie The Fly. Um, in that movie, anyone who's familiar with it, uses a lot of like teleportation technology. In that movie, there is a at first they're having issues with it because when they try to teleport like test subjects, it just leaves a bunch of like a pile of meat on the other end. It brings the individual molecules and atoms to the other teleporter, but it can't put it back together correctly. And I think that's kind of the same thing. A character points out that with a analogy of a steak, because they send a steak over because okay, it's dead, it's dead, it's meat. It doesn't have to work too hard to make it right, but they check it, they try tasting it, and it still tastes off. Um, and eventually they come to the conclusion that the machine doesn't have the context to understand like what is this supposed to be, like how do I put these molecules and atoms back together. And I think that's like a big issue that AI is still dealing with. If anyone's seen Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, he had a good example of this where a AI was being trained to tell if a mole or a marking on someone's skin was like a sign of cancer or a malignance. Um, but unfortunately, because of the way it was trained, because every image they used had a ruler for reference, just to say that like things at this size will, like if a mole is this size, it means that there is potential for a malignancy. Um, because of that, the AI then associated um, rulers with positive, uh, like uh, positive results for malignance or cancer. So you could just show this thing a ruler and would say, "Yep, that's cancer right there." So that lack of like human context is that's a big thing that's going to hold it back. But I think one of the bigger issues that we're going to face with AI is how how easily can companies like justify switching over? Because we're already seeing stuff where like with big companies, like stuff still has the obvious tells of like, yeah, this was AI generated. And when people point that out, companies quickly deflect, saying, "Oh, we bought this from someone else. We didn't know it was AI generated," or "Oh, the person we're working with didn't say it was AI generated. We're sorry." So I feel like just with the nature of like running corporations, they will try to replace anybody as long as they can get away with it. Um, a sort of personal example, my job currently is a inventory and auditing position, and it basically just comes down to just counting things with a little handheld device. Now, this device has some useful functions, but most of all, it's basically the same as like a calculator or one of those little stopwatches you can click to count things. Um, it doesn't do a whole lot. Like, it kind of depends on being like in our hands in order to use it. But I've thought time and time again, like, this is something that could potentially be handled by an AI by either identifying things by their size, their dimension, or even just using the UPC codes on them. But this job still continues to exist because I feel like they don't want to waste that kind of out for them. Like, if they use that on smaller jobs, then people will get upset and they'll, like, understandably be like, hey, you're taking all of our jobs away. But they do want to use it to keep people out of the higher level entry or like entry level stuff. So, kind of like what Ulfhelm said, they just want these senior officers, and anyone like lower than them or a bit too close to their position can just be phased out in favor of AI, and then they can just keep everyone else as far away as possible, and just like leave things up to like keeping things isolated within the corporate sector. Um, just like from my own experience with my current job hunt, it's pretty much impossible to get a hold of like so many times people have said, "Oh, like I have to talk to corporate about that," and it's like, okay, when can we talk to corporate? Well, they don't talk to us. We need to send out a message, and eventually they'll get back to us. So I'm kind of rambling now, but yeah, essentially what I'm saying is it definitely has issues. Like, it's definitely not a replacement for a human artist or a human writer, but the problem is companies are willing to overlook that if it means that they can uh, uh, get away with not paying people or removing more people from their company, so that they don't have to waste money on paying people, and they can also keep things like just circulating within their own like higher levels. Sorry, I went
Yeah.
on with that one.
It's all right.
No, it's okay.
Something to add. I have something to add to
Go
that
ahead,
real
Nora.
quick.
Go ahead.
I first came to Korea here, teaching English, and a lot of us are phasing. Our jobs are phasing out over here in Korea. They have now, starting this year, have decided to replace our jobs with robots teaching English as a second language here in Korea. They believe that their AI is going to be superior, and they believe that students are actually going to have a better standing and a better chance of adapting and learning the language through a frickin' robot.
Hmm.
So, yeah, not happy about that. I already lost my job due to COVID,
Oof.
and now I can't find any positions as an English teacher or as a native English speaking teacher here, whether it's tutoring or working in the public education system. I can't seem to find an opening because now we're getting replaced with robot.
Oh, yeah, like that's something, for example, that I would have to say, like, I, as a student, I wouldn't like that because how do you ask questions? How is that thing
They've
gonna
apparently they've
correctly answer your questions?
yeah, they developed a way where a teacher can be on the webcam screen of the robot and they can answer any questions directly, but it's not an English, it's not a native English teacher. It's going to be a Korean teacher explaining it in Korean to teach them English. It's broken.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's completely broken.
Yeah, like I would. Yeah, I don't like that, man. Like I would also
I don't like it
I
either.
think yeah, exactly. Like I would prefer definitely like a human when it comes to that. Like you know, it's also better for better, better for socialization and being able to communicate well with someone and have a face-to-face conversation. You know, like I find that like way better and a way better tool to learning, as compared to having something robotic and something that's lifeless pretty much like in front of you trying to teach you something. Like I don't know, like I think that you could always like do your research on like a PC afterwards or something if you need to, but I think it's pretty important having like a teacher and something or someone that is alive in front of you and who also has common sense if you want to ask like specific questions that maybe that thing can't answer. Like I don't know, like I think it needs specific contact and to have someone there for that kind of stuff. Like I don't know, like that's a part of like someone's job that I wouldn't replace. Like teachers, in my opinion, are important.
Yep.
Yep.
And I think that's what sucks with the whole thing about how AI is affecting people's jobs. Because Zalexion made a good point. Well, one thing that stood out to me was about only wanting senior staff, except one thing that has also been seen in companies firing senior or non-C suite staff because more experienced employees expect better salaries, so they're kind of burning the candle on both ends. And Zalexion's not wrong. So I feel like, and this is just going back to what Nuna was talking about with people losing their jobs, or like what Ulfhelm and 40 were talking about how they're willing to just replace like I feel like this is also corporate greed at its finest. It's like they now are tying, in my opinion, you guys can agree or disagree, but I feel like AI is becoming part of corporate greed. It used to be money, now I feel it's money and AI, because AI can help with companies. More AI, less employees, less money to give out,
Yeah, I definitely agree on that. And especially like I was saying, like time-wise as well. It doesn't need like a week or a month or whatever to create something. They could get it under seconds with AI. And again, time equals money. So I think that's what they all like. Like an employee less that they don't have to pay. They get more, they still get money from the AI. Work is made faster. So of course, like they do, see like the potential in that, and they're like, ooh, that's like definitely gonna put profit up because it's like more stuff comes out with less time, creates more income.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
just to go ahead.
no, go ahead, 40, go ahead.
I was just gonna add something in real quick with what Nuno was saying about and what Quest was saying as well, with it not being conducive to assisting the person using it. I think that's like another sign that it is just like you said, corporate greed, because what they're producing doesn't even really appease the consumer. Like I've noticed that a lot of people who are like all in for it on the consumer end usually don't understand what goes into it. But we're already seeing instances of it not working. I mean, like in my own experience, with even like getting my current day job, with that, they had a automated email system, but it broke. So I had to circumvent it entirely in order to speak to a human being and let them know that like, hey, your automated email response system is busted, and it just keeps sending me the same email over and over again, and not acknowledging that like I want to set up a an interview time. Um, but like we can also see with bigger projects, stuff like that not working. Like I have to right now. I remember the name of it. I believe it's Stray Souls. Stray Souls had a huge amount of content in that game, made from like AI generated stuff, like a lot of the images, a lot of the text, and it just came out as a disaster. And like so many people were like really upset with it. Like you could probably find so many like videos saying like, "Oh, Stray Souls is the worst game ever." But yeah, like that again makes me think that this isn't so much an issue with people who want to consume this content, but the people who really want to push for it. Because kind of like what a lot of people have been saying here is that it's the companies really pushing this on everyone, not just the employees, but also like the people who will like purchase these things. And we can see that there's becoming a more like antagonistic stance taken by companies towards even their customers. Because this is just a quick aside, but like a lot of like bigger game publishers are saying that people should just get used to not owning games, and where when they're just so boldly using language like that, just telling their customers like, get used to not owning the products you buy for us. We can take your products away whenever we feel like it. Like you are like you owe it to us. We don't owe you anything, even though we're a producer in a company. Like that really shows that we, above all else, companies are not in the right headspace to do anything constructive with this technology. Like they're prepared to exploit whatever they can, and if AI becomes the main thing they want to exploit, they will exploit that to as far as they can get away with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say in the game industry itself, it's definitely gonna be picked up, I suspect, a lot more because a lot of different multi-million-dollar games that take years to develop still put their developers under crunch times where they're working overtime for months at a time. So it's seen as a shortcut by both the workers and the company, but that also means that they'll use it to cut corners. I mean, on the flip side, I could actually say, just from my own messing around, if anyone's ever played The Sims 4 and the amount of DLC because they couldn't just sell a finished game to you, what is it, up to $1,000 now if you're not buying it on sale to get all the DLC?
Yeah, about
Well,
$1,000, $2,000, something like that. Something stupid like that.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
so I've done AI generation with Dolly for paintings and for rug textures just so I could add more things to the game. Just because I the tools that I would have otherwise used even I'm trying to remember the company's name. Unfortunately, it was bought by Adobe. So God, Substance Designer. Great company when it was independent. It let you make textures not with AI, but very programmically so that you could make things that had the right shine, the right shadows, the right roughness. Adobe bought them and now charges an arm and a leg. So the cheaper alternative, if I want to make textures, is literally go to AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Shira is asking why Wolfhelm has Trader on him.
Because I'm the one who's using it the most.
Because Ulfhelm is the more pro AI out of all of us, and therefore he is a traitor to us all. Because every time, what you see, I'm breaking my seriousness and going into like betray mode right now. Okay, so you have to let me bitch for a second. Okay, here we go. Every time he AI generates an art, it's just another AI generated knife that is stabbing me in the back.
Yeah.
He's like, Jar Jar, look at this AI art. And I'm like, oh, it burns. Oh, the pain, it hurts.
I imagine a AI generated knife would not be very easy to wield.
Oh, I stopped trying to. It doesn't get instruments or tools right.
I don't know. Did you AI generate a 3D printer? Is it AI? Is it AI 3D printed?
Oh God, I couldn't imagine that.
I can't do 3D yet. Well, not like that.
You
but
see, you guys, this is what I have to deal with. This is why he has traitor written right across his fucking face. This is what I deal with.
Yeah.
It's what I go to bed to. It's what I wake up to.
But I do think Olfel makes a good point with like a lot of the issues coming from like companies like, again, what you said with like Adobe buying up this stuff and companies buying up open source stuff. Like it feels almost like cheating where like open source stuff is like kept open source, so like other creatives, other like people who have passion for this can use it to like get their startup going. Like I've seen so many people use GitHub for stuff on OBS, Blender, other things where people can make a career out of this, but like don't have like an entire development team to like to help them. But the fact that a company can just come in and just buy those same assets or even just buy the whole company, just it feels like cheating. Like you already have all the money in the world. Why take away these free assets being used by the little guy?
It's not even just the free. I mean, Substance Designer was sold on Steam for less than $100 and was a powerful tool with a perpetual license. Companies like Adobe can just use their muscle, get past the regulators who should stop them for basically anti-competitive practices, but just let them run free reign. And the problem is that predates a lot of what's happening with AI now, and that was the sad point I'm making. Is like, so I can't get the newer version of the software anymore, so AI somehow became the cheaper alternative.
Well, like, okay, here's the thing. Shira made a good statement a while back, and I'm gonna go ahead and go on to the next question. I actually like how we did this round. I won't ask for somebody to start there. I'll just open the table up and let you guys debate. But I definitely want the people who are who commission. So 40 Nozumi Quest, I would really appreciate your guys' input, because this is actually this statement is actually going to be for the next question. Shira said, this is what sucks. People who pay AI artists to draw their art clearly lack to learn that real artists can do so much better than real artists. And real artists starve. You can help actual artists by paying them rather than a fake one, just using a machine to just steal other people's artwork. They would rather pay those types of people rather than an actual artist. That's what baffles me. So here's my question. When I was researching AI artists and whatnot, I found some arguments with these AI artists. They have argued that AI art is still a form of art, and they feel that they have just as much right as a non-AI artist. I guess that's what we're now called, as non-AI artists. You mean real artists? Anyway, they feel they have just as much rights as non-AI artists and should be compensated for their work. So everybody, if you want to chime in, my question's going to be this, but I would really appreciate it if 40, Nozumi, and Quest could as well, just as artists who are commission artists. Do you agree with that statement? Do you agree that AI artists should be compensated for their work?
No, absolutely not.
No.
There's no work in it. They don't do anything. They just type in words into an engine and boom, there it is. Seconds, 5 seconds, done. Not even. I don't call that art. It's not them doing the art. It is something that is being randomly generated by a computer with no knowledge of nothing. Like, I do not call that art in any type of way. Like I said, you know, I could literally go on to like some sort of like AI thing right now and just type in some words and then boom, there's an art piece. It is, for example, like we all know, first and foremost, it is a mashup of a bunch of different art from online. You know, so it's like taking people's work, you know, people who literally worked on that with their blood and soul for hours or maybe months, you know, to come up with something, and then it is a mashup of their art with other people's art. And like I said, the AI content creator, artist, whatever you want to call it, they didn't do any work. They typed words. Wow. so hard. You know, like I said, I could do that right now too, and then call myself like an AI artist. That's dumb, and no one should be paid for that, in my opinion.
Yeah, and they're also arguing that they shouldn't be called AI artists. They also would argue that they should be called artists because AI is a form of art to them, and they say that they deserve that respect and title just as much as a non-AI artist, aka a real artist.
Yeah.
No, because they're not doing art.
No.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Nazumi. Go ahead.
Yeah. So one of my former regular commissioners has actually recently stopped commissioning me from work and has taken up to being an AI quote artist themselves. But recently they started commissioning real artists again, and I'm like, okay, so you're an AI artist. Oh, okay, so you use AI to create art of your persona, but now you want to commission human artists again. Um, I'm not sure how to feel about that because what if they're going to use the art from those artists they commissioned and feed it into this AI generator to create more art of the persona? I'm like, no, that's kind of a piss take, really, because we actual artists have spent months, even years, practicing, honing our skills, improving just to get to where we are right now, and for these AI artists to actually say, "Hey, we want to be on the same page as you guys," is kind of a slap in the face, and it's also disrespectful to our craft and the amount of time and energy it took to get here.
Totally agree.
Agreed. And I have a counter argument. AI artists calling themselves artists. What is an artist? What exactly is the definition of an artist? An artist is a person who produces paintings or drawings as a profession or a hobby, but it's also a person who practices any of the various creative arts, such as a sculptor, novelist, poet, or filmmaker. So the word creative is in the definition. AI is not creative, it's a replica.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Different.
why
Yeah.
I was saying they weren't an artist because they're not doing it themselves, either.
Exactly. So they're not an artist, not even by the definition of the word in the dictionary.
Nope, not at all.
I actually have a couple stories to go along with this one, if you're
Go
okay
ahead.
with me sharing.
Yeah,
Sure.
So, one thing I've noticed with some people who just say like, "Oh, I'm gonna be an AI artist from now on." This is a bit anecdotal, but I've seen like a few instances of this. But apparently, there are some AI artists who have like made either like call out or vent posts where they are frustrated that they will not receive payment for their creations, like using AI. And I feel like that is sort of like being hung by your own petard because with a lot of the language that's used by like not people who actually know how the technology works because I don't know how many of these people like actually pay for the AI that they use to generate images. I feel like not many, um, but a lot of them will be. A lot of the like language they use is very similar to what you saw with like the crypto or like NFT crowd of saying that like we're busting the system wide open, we're taking things back from the elites, and a lot of them say that like using AI generated art levels the playing field in their opinion, saying that they are somehow taking back like their creativity from like artists who in their words hoard the ability to create art, but then they turn around and get upset when people don't want to pay them for their work. And I find that so ironic because so much of their language is devaluing artists, saying that like artists, like experts, artists, like these people know nothing. Like we have this new system to uh, so that anyone can do this. We're leveling the playing field. We're all equals now. That's why you should give me money. And it's very much like a ideology of just whatever I want is mine, and I can just explain away any contradictions. Um, but it shows like a lack of awareness, and I feel like that happens a lot among sort of like fans of like the AI scene. I actually had I didn't join in because it was getting a bit heated, but in another Discord server, someone was showing off some AI art, and a lot of people like kind of went after this person and started like grilling them, saying like, "Hey, do you know who made this? Do you know like all the artists that this took from?" And when they were asked about it, they would very often deflect or redirect. Um, so they would say like, "Oh well, this is using my friend's art," even though it clearly looked like the standardized art that's produced by AI. So of course it was using the full AI art database, not just like his supposed friends. But he kept on like coming up with new excuses of like, "Oh, it uses my friend's art. I didn't steal anyone's art," and it just kind of, as more people started to grill him, it really started to show that they really didn't understand what AI was or how it worked. Like they didn't understand that it was sourcing images from the internet. They thought like, "Oh, this was created from the ether, and this is my own personal creation." Eventually, moderators did have to come in and just say like no more AI art in the server, like period. But yeah, I think that's like another issue with the idea of AI artists saying that they should also be paid because they didn't create the technology that generates this art. Their input is minimal by design, and their ideology when it comes to it already devalues art as a concept. So by participating in like the generation of AI art, they're already like it, and also their rhetoric is a lot of artists don't know what they're doing. This technology gives everyone the power to be an artist, and then after they devalue art, they get upset that people don't want to pay for their art. So it again feels like a child with like a dangerous weapon, like a child with a grenade. They know. Sorry if you heard my phone there. Um, but they know what it can do, but they don't think the rules apply to them. As far as they're concerned, they'll have their own rules and it will work exactly the way they want it to, and they have no understanding of like its implications or its like real functions. I know I got kind of like disjointed there near the end, but yeah, that's essentially what I was trying to get across with that.
You're fine, 40.
Yeah.
Oh, go
So
ahead.
you're-
Go ahead, Quiet. Oh, go ahead, Raz.
Yeah, so you're describing people that are basically, narcissistic, Machiavellian, maybe slightly psychopathy. The people that you're describing, it's Dark Triad. These are the same people who were scalping GPUs, doubling down on GameStop. They're riding bandwagons.
Yeah, exactly. Like
If it wasn't artists, they'd chase someone else and say, "Oh, I'm better than you or smarter than you," and just push their way into a room.
oh yeah, like, and I think that's like again like a big factor of this, like the kind of people who are being drawn towards it and like building a like culture around it. Because like you said, it's the same thing we saw with like cryptocurrency and metaverse and NFTs. Like these are the kind of people who want a get rich quick scheme. They want to be the like they want to be the guy. They want to be the one that like takes down the system and like gets rich off of a quick scheme. But the problem is that like it's already not a good scheme, and the people who will get rich off of it are people who were already wealthy. Like again, just like looking back on the crypto boom and the NFT scene, like it's kind of embarrassing looking back on it. And even during that time, I don't know how old everyone is here, but when I was seeing like NFTs and stuff like that, like the way people were talking about investing in them, it reminded me of like back in the 90s when everyone was making jokes about timeshares, because that was another thing that was kind of a blatant scam, but so many people like joined in on the scam that it just became like a cultural thing. But like I was still like a little kid in the 90s, but there were so many like cartoons that would make jokes about that. Like a character says like, "Oh, would you like to join our timeshare?" And the other character would scream and run in the other direction. And I was kind of seeing that same sort of like cultural like vibe when like NFTs and crypto stuff was coming out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Quest.
No, like before that thing, like I was saying that like well, what I wanted to say is when we were talking about like big companies and stuff like that, or like let's say if I was a small company and wanted to start something up and don't really have employees or the means to create something, I would still be very iffy on using AI because it is not regulated at the moment. But how long will it stay that way? Like I have a feeling that like it's too broad and it's too powerful and like there's bad stuff that's gonna happen with it. Like I have the feeling it's like it's. I mean, I've seen a video of Obama, Hillary, and Trump playing Minecraft, and that was AI created. It had their voices. It looked exactly like them with headsets on. Um, and like I don't know if like the government or just like people in general will let like that kind of stuff like happen. Like it's a little bit risky. We were talking about defamation earlier and stuff like that, which could also happen. But yeah, I would be wondering like first of all, not everyone has a good view on AI, so I would be like, okay, am I like affecting my business if I use this kind of stuff? First of all, and then like second of all, like yeah, I would be like, okay, it's not regulated right now, but I don't want to like start something and use specifically this because what if it does become regulated? What if rules come? Or what if this AI that I don't know exactly what image is using, what if it uses something that's copyrighted and looks exactly like someone else's thing, and then I get attacked for defamation and like pretty much like stealing art, art theft and stuff like that. Like what if I get attacked with like a lawsuit and shit like that, when you're like just starting out and everything. Like I would be kind of like weary of using AI at the moment, so to speak. Like yeah. If you guys get what I mean.
No, I like it is scary. Like it's so scary how far like we all can agree that it's still pretty with AI, it's still pretty detectable, Like it's something that could still be detectable, like whether it's like deep faking someone's face or like
Yeah.
using someone's voice, because AI voice, well, I can't really say it now because one of the most popular AI voice trackers is called 11 Labs. And before it used to be easy to just make AI voices and, people would know it's AI. But now there's a new feature where you can use a voice recording and you can, like, basically, like, if I wanted to say, like, oh no, everybody, I just found out there's no Dino Nuggies. I can make that in, I could like make that in Obama's voice and it'll sound just like him, but it'll be in the emotional tone that and it'll actually sound like he's saying it and actually meaning it. And that's what
Yeah.
scares me.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's the thing though, is like, it's detectable, and that's why I'm wondering like if regulations come out and they see that you're using something AI and like rules come out and like you can't use it or whatever and you get hit with like a lawsuit and shit, like that's where it's like oof, like I would be scared if I would want to use that type of shit. Like I think that people should step back from using that and like leave people their jobs and stuff and have something like reliable than opposed to using something like that who could get strongly regulated at some point, which I am expecting to happen because of the fact that it is dangerous in the wrong hands. I mean, we've seen like the kind of stuff that it could do, so I wouldn't be surprised if regulations do come out, which I kind of hope. And yeah, like that's what I was kind of like wondering with that kind of stuff too, you know, like, and because like I said, it is noticeable when you use it, and you know, it's like, okay, is it worth it? You know, like, am I gonna get smacked with a lawsuit? Like now, if there's regulations, if this comes out, you know.
Well, I'm sorry, 40. Were you gonna say something?
Oh, sorry, I just left my mic unmuted. Sorry about that.
Oh no, that's okay. That's okay. No, I, you know, Shira makes a good point. I mean, Shira just brought up an interesting fact, which is pretty much like it ties into with the whole AI and being paid. Apparently, there are people on Facebook that lose out on money and whatnot to AI because Shira said on Facebook, to my horror, I saw an AI model that makes more money than an actual model. Like, I'm assuming that means that this is a auto-generated image because you know how like even with AI you can make photorealistic, you can make a realistic looking
Yeah.
person. I mean, and it's kind of like recognition, like on Twitter, like for an example, I follow like you guys, I follow Quest, Nizumi, and 40 Doodles, and I've seen them get an average of like engagements and stuff. Like it's usually around like between 5 to 1,000 engagements, like views and stuff. Yet I see people who post AI and they even put in their disclaimer. Like I feel like what Quest said, I feel if people put a disclaimer that that like, you know, hey, this is AI generated or hey, this is AI, I would be okay with that. But what pisses me off is I see people with more engagement, and even when they put their disclaimer, I've seen people get more recognition of their art on X and it's AI generated than I do see, like, you know, when 40 Nizumi or Quest posts like their art, you know, like they have like between 500 to 1,000 engagements, whereas these AI images have, you know, like 10.k thousand engagements, and when I mean engagements, I mean views, like how many times people have actually looked at it and whatnot. And then like the likes are at like, you know, 1,000 likes, like 300 or 500 reposts and stuff like that. Like I feel that's like I feel that shadows actual artists, you know, and that's when I get worried, you know. Even if like you put a disclaimer that it's AI, it still sucks because I feel it shadows those who are actual artists.
That's true.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
I feel that
Um,
Elon Musk is
oh, go
actually.
ahead, Nizumi.
Yeah, it does feel like Elon Musk is actually prioritizing AI artists over actual artists, and with what you just explained to me, it does show because on average, I get like 2 to 3 likes per, like somewhere between the realm of 5 to 10 likes on an image, and to hear about AI artists get about 1,000 likes, it's just kind of disheartening.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Elon Musk is like completely into everything that's like AI related and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if that like is like pushed up in the algorithm and stuff. Of course, he would prefer like a world that's like computer directed compared to, you know, like people and, you know, employees and whatnot. Like I don't know, he has like a really weird world he lives in. But yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, you know, like us artists who put like hours into our work, yeah, we might get like an average of like 5 to 10 likes, you know, per art piece and stuff. It's like, wow, I just spent 23 hours on this piece and no recognition for it.
Well,
So yeah, I
yeah,
totally get it.
yeah, and I was gonna ask that because I was gonna actually ask you guys, and I was also gonna ask Nuna. I was gonna ask Nuna because like for you four, you guys have the work. Like, do you guys get bothered when, like, does it bother you guys when you see like AI being overpowered by your guys's like more engaged on Twitter? And then for Nuna, my question is, how do you feel? Like, do you feel bad when there's like AI books because like there are books out there on Amazon that are AI written that have sold like thousands of copies. Like so like for us as smaller artists and smaller writers, does that feel like do you guys feel like that shadows you or does you feel like that gets in the way of your guys's business, whether it's selling books or like copies of your book or commissions?
Who do you want to
Uh,
start first?
Like we can go like whoever wants to go in first. I'm throwing it on the table.
I can go first if you want me to.
Sure.
All right. I'll try to keep this one brief. In my own experience, it hasn't been so much an issue with like people looking at AI stuff over my own stuff. Like, I kind of understand that like I'm a bit niche. I don't put my name out there that much, so I understand if like people don't see my stuff. The issues I have, like especially on like social media, are like AI bots, because I've gotten so many bots following me, liking my stuff, trying to get me into scams, and especially on Twitter, now X, it is just a sea of bots that have been like, they're just being mass produced and unleashed on the site, to the point where most of my engagement is like coming from bots that because a lot of them are programmed to go after people who offer commissions or stream. I've had so many like bots follow me after announcing that I'm going live, because they are a bot designed to just kind of like go up to any streamer and offer to be a graphic designer, even though the graphics that it's offering are, I think it's from one specific site that just has like just like a standardized like image generator for just making like a logo and some emotes. And it's to the point where it feels kind of like those like mobile phone ads, where like, this definitely looks like a scam, but all these scams seem to be pulling from the same pool of content. But yeah, essentially, like, I don't think it's really affected me on an engagement level, just because I don't think I have a super far reach, and like I don't really check that on my end. I honestly don't look at my analytics that much. But yeah, I am constantly being like bombarded by like bots that are like pretending to be people, just like coming at me. And I feel like if anything, that's throwing off my analytics. Just weird bots following and liking my stuff out of nowhere.
All right. What about you, Nizumi?
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat as 40 here. Ever since Twitter became X, I've been followed by a lot of bots that are just liking and retweeting my my Twitch. Oh, hold on one sec. Someone's just following me again. Okay, that's 3 so far. Anyway, like I was saying, I'm in the same boat as 40. Ever since Twitter became X, I've had a lot of bots following me. One bot in particular actually tried contacting me midstream and offered to do a VTuber model for me. I actually checked their profile, and like 40 said, it's procedurally generated anime like figures, which they probably got from some sites. So it does look kind of sus. Oh, I remember that happened. Yeah, that was literally happened midstream, and they since tried to contact me since then, and it's like, no, this is not what I want. This is not the kind of engagement I want.
Alrighty. Quest?
Okay, so my opinion on this is kind of also like a little bit like varied. Is like, for example, okay, so first of all, when it comes to AI stuff and my work, like first of all, yeah, I also get like, you know, like weird follows from like AI shit and everything. I just kind of like just, I don't know, just delete and get on with it, you know, whatever. But when it comes to like art getting more views than my art, sometimes of course like it's like, I wish my art had, you know, kind of like that amount of views, but at the same time I'm telling myself like, okay, my art style is also very different than what is being, you know, shown right now by the AI art. You know, some people like certain styles, some people don't like other styles. You know, I could respect that if, you know, not like my art is not everyone's cup of tea. You know, some people like might just not think it's, you know, nice or, you know, that good. And you know, like AI art is supposed to show a certain type of perfection. I mean, even though it has its little flaws, not everyone looks at that. They look at like the picture in general. And you know, like for example, you know, like when we were talking about like you know like supermodels and everything getting like more attention than real models and stuff, it's like yeah, you know, they can make them look you know completely flawless. Like I have seen also like recently like some sort of like AI model where I was like, damn, like I thought that was a real person. I was like, oh shit, it's not. um, but yeah, like of course, like it really sucks when views are being taken away like that, so to speak, from you know people who actually work for it. You know, it's just being like stealed views pretty much in a way. But like, yeah, I don't know how to really react to that. Like, I don't really pay attention to that. Like, I just kind of like do my thing and go. But yeah, like I hope that some you know that people will realize and kind of like side with artists when it comes to all that. That they'll think, you know, like okay, I think an art, like you know, the art of an actual artist is more valuable than something computer generated. I know that some people have a healthy mind like that, and I hope that that'll be, you know, the population that kind of like is on the top at some point.
Alrighty, thank you, Quest. All right, and Nuna, same question for you in the writing community. How AI books on Amazon are becoming more popular than real writers who are trying to sell their stuff on Amazon. Like, same question to you, but with the but from the writer's perspective.
Yeah, there's a big war going on, especially since I'm published under Amazon currently. We've already had certain books. I'm not gonna name them because I'm not gonna give them any credit. But we already have books that have sold pretty much a couple thousand copies within a month of being it produced that has been created by AI. And a lot of people are kind of 50-50 on it because according to some of them that were created by ChatGDP, that they're really interesting, they're different, they're unique, and they're specific kind of niche. And some people are interested in that and they like it because again, it's different. But from a writer's perspective and not from a reader's perspective, this has been an ongoing fight since I got published last year that we are finding much more challenges because now we have to prove that our works are not created by AI by either putting a disclaimer on it or trying to defend ourselves for the reasons why we are not adapting to use AI or ChatGDP or whatever have you. I'll go into the second half of the podcast later discussing the ramifications and the stuff that we've been dealing with as writers here in the community of extra complications because now AI is being used in the Kindles and they want to have AI generated voices using our works without our permission instead of us going to Audible to either hire or voice our own books. And it's a struggle and I don't like it because again it's taking profits out of my pocket from my own hard work while the company gets the profits from that. And we have no choice. We have no say when they offer the AI generated voicing for our Kindle editions. We don't get to say, as the creator and as the writer, to say, hey, can we opt out of this? They're enforcing it on us. So, no, I don't appreciate that part of the profits being cut out of my budget, my tight budget already, and basically going into the pockets of the people who created the AI. So no, I don't like it in this case, and it's frustrating and it's a difficult fight. We just started, and this is going to be an ongoing thing for quite a long time. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah.
Plus, AI generated text is awkward as fuck. Just to say.
You saw it on Jirari's stream where you were
Oh.
doing the fanfic stuff.
Yeah, actually, fun fact. I picked that up from. I actually learned that from Nuna. Nuna was the one who introduced the fanfiction.net that you introduced me to. That shit show of an AI generator.
It's a guilty pleasure, but it just goes to prove that AI cannot. They can't use our creative juices, for the lack of better terminology, to be able to create a cohesive story that actually makes sense. Because again, especially for a writer like me, I create words. I make words up that don't exist in the dictionary, and then for an AI to generate a voice for that, they're going to mispronounce words that I've created, especially words in other languages. Like, for instance, a lot of my Japanese characters have Japanese names, and the AI is only going to really reference English type, I guess, phonetics. And so they're
Yeah.
going to mispronounce names like Chintaru. It's probably going to call it Chintaro or something of that nonsense. It's going to mispronounce Nyoko. It's probably going to say it as Niyoko. And it's probably going to mispronounce Kagamintaru, Ishtaru. It's going to mispronounce everything in my book, and it's going to fuck it up, and I hate it. It's like when Netflix takes a really nice idea and they fuck it up by creating a Netflix exclusive for it. It's exactly how I
Yeah.
feel about it, and I don't want them to fuck up my hard work.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents.
I thought it was hilarious, like the story that Jirari like made. Like I was supposed to be in the story and I wasn't.
Yeah, that happens too.
Like
It
AI
does
was
cut
like,
you out. Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah. I was like, yeah, you want this person in there? Let me just not do that. You know,
Right.
so it was not following
I
the
think
guidelines.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I think that is but I feel that is also why I feel that's also why AI writing is selling because it makes no sense and people are like this is hilarious. I'm going to buy this.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
because, for
people like
example,
stupid stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Like Pan Pan was in the relationship with like someone, and all of a sudden in relationship with someone else. And it's like,
Yeah.
What?
what's going on now?
Not to mention all the spelling errors and fragments and yeah. Yeah, like even Nuna, even when Nuna was using that program, she was like stumbling over the hard to read errors and stuff. And this is like it was just that broken.
Yeah, it's
Yup.
that broken.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go only because we are at the 2 hour mark. We're gonna go ahead and I'll ask my last question, and then we'll go ahead and take a break, and I'll pass the moderator baton over to Nuna, and Nuna will take over. This is gonna be the last question, and I do want to ask because we are at the 5 follower mark. Before everybody does flee for their 15-minute break, I will say if Nuna, Quest, and Nazumi can also get ready to set up a raffle for a free game giveaway because combined together, all of us have received some followers or subs. So we're gonna go ahead and have everybody fill out a game giveaway, and whoever wins, I will DM you guys a game code in the game that they have won.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. So my last question for you guys. We've all talked about, and we're all aware of how bad AI has affected, especially in the arts, like illustration and writing, how even like companies we all would have expect better from, Wacom got under heat for having a AI generated dragon to promote their new tablet. The whole dilemma with DeviantArt, Huon tablets is also using AI. Sticker Mule, which is really popular especially in the furry culture, that's where we use to get a lot of our stickers printed. They now have a free AI generator where they'll quote unquote design you a sticker, and if you like the art, they'll sell it to you in sticker form. No, Huon. It's a cheaper graphics tablet company, but they still make really good tablets. They also are using AI. And I think what really shocked me was Square Enix. And I feel very, very sad as someone who likes I love the Tomb Raider series. It is one of my favorite game series. It's Square Enix. I know that Nazumi, I know you, Quest, I know you, and I know Nuna are huge Final Fantasy nerds out there. So like
Yep.
I feel like I've been backstabbed, especially when it comes to companies that are supposed to, support the artist, whether it's a game company, whether it's a community like DeviantArt, or just companies like Wacom and Huon, which are graphic tablets. Artists use those. what's the point in selling that, or what's the point in even advertising it if you're not gonna even like bother? You know, why couldn't you have a contest and have the winning artist be featured in your new product? Come on now. And I
Yeah,
think
I
what's
totally agree.
yeah. So my sorry, did you guys want to say anything in response to that?
No, I was just agreeing with everything. Like,
Oh, sorry.
I have a Hui on tablet myself, and I'm just like, oh, and then like the Square Enix problem is also just like, oh, it hurts.
Yeah, it hurt. And what really bothered me with Square Enix, you guys, is that they said their excuse was it's okay. It was minimally used. But what bothered me is that they still said they have a huge interest now in AI for future projects. I'm like, are you gonna end up laying off more? Like, are you gonna lay off your entire like concept artist team, your landscape developing team, like the people who do the traditional or digital art? Are you gonna lay them off? You know,
I was
like that.
thinking if I was an employee, like I would be like, oh my god, like I would feel hurt and I would be scared for my job.
So yeah, my last question is it's gonna be a personal opinion and then advice because I do know for a fact somebody who follows me, and I believe this was in your stream a while back, Quest. um Crimson was almost, I believe, sucker, not like suckered, but like, what is it called when somebody tried selling
Scams.
Crimson art? Yeah, scammed.
Yeah,
Yeah, no. Um, so my question is two things. It's gonna be more so advice that you want to give to everybody out there. Nuna, Old Pal, Quest, Nizumi 40, what advice can you guys give to people out there who are potentially gonna be scammed into being AI art? Like my advice would be just, you know, look at their portfolio, like look at their work. One way you can really tell if art is, especially in illustration, if it's AI generated, look at the eyes. For some reason, AI still cannot get the eyeballs right.
yeah.
And then my other,
pose.
exactly, yeah, pose background characters that shouldn't be there, you know, like because the background's super blurry and there's random stuff back there. And then you know, we pointed out in writing how they make a lot of like, they don't have emotions, like you can't see emotions in AI writing. You could tell when there's somebody who actually put their thought into it versus like run-ons and fragments and stuff. So two-part question. The first question is, all of us, everybody answer this one. Do you think, even though AI is still like in the form we're talking about today, it still seems to be in an early phase, but how far it's grown, do you think it's gone too far, and should we be worried? And then my other question is, what advice can you give to people in your streams on just being aware of potential scams with AI artists? So we'll go ahead and have Nuna start off first.
I have never been scammed by an artist. I've had attempts. People have attempted me, especially with the whole Discord thing and people popping in and be like, hey, I noticed your art is kind of sucky. Would you like to use mine instead? It's there's a way to promote your works without being a douche about it. I just I don't know. Scams of all kinds are happening, especially more lately now that people are using bots and AIs to generate tons of crap just to spam the internet with all of it. And for those who created those kinds of shits, I hope you get gangrene on your toes.
Oh my.
Seriously, it's frustrating because now, especially people who are not technologically savvy like me and of the older generation, it's really difficult to determine what's a scam and what's actually legit. So now you're coming across as either skeptic or pessimistic or untrustworthy now because we just don't have the knowledge or the general idea of what is a scam and what's actually legitimate. It's difficult, and I wish there was more acceptable general information out there that we can all access that has been, that's been verified, that's been fact checked. So that way we can educate ourselves better and not fall under these scams. But the question is now, who would be in charge of providing that information and knowing if that information is proper or correct, so that way we can, start guarding ourselves and defending ourselves from these scammers. That's my 2 cents. That's all I got.
Alrighty, thank you, Nuna. What about you? What about you, Nazumi?
Well, I've not been scammed myself directly, but I've had a couple attempts at least. Like I said, I've had at least one person drop into my stream chat and try to advertise their services, for lack of a better phrase. And again in not Twitch, X DMs, and I basically politely declined them. Like I said, their portfolio doesn't really show much except already pre-made avatars. So yeah, I just said no. I think someone else tried to do a similar scam at some point. He dropped in my stream chat once, and told me, "Ew, your model's ugly." I'm like, "Excuse me." Well, it didn't get far because Vol and I basically chased them out. But yeah, I will say though, if someone is trying to scam you for an AI commission, always vet the person. Go for the personal links, go for the galleries, and check if they've got AI art. Yeah, oh yeah, always vet your arts. Because normally there's usually telltale signs of what if it's AI art or not, like the eyeballs, number of fingers, any illegible text, any elements that just don't seem out of place, and most importantly, consistency. AI art is not consistent. There's always going to be a different model every time the artist produces AI work. Also, if possible, ask for WIPs and turnaround time, because usually most of the artists will not produce works in progress, or usually have like either suspiciously short turnaround time, or they won't give turnaround time at all. That's my 2 cents at least.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nazumi. Let's see. Quest. What about you?
Okay, so, my take on this is very simple. Like, for example, a serious artist will not come in your DMs. Like, if it's just like a serious, legit person, because they always come in your DMs and they're like, "Oh, I have car problems," or "Oh, I can't pay my mortgage. Can you please commission me?" It's like, no. Like, you could tell from there on, first of all, that it's a scam. When you look at their stuff, it's usually stolen art or retraced. I saw that just very recently. The thing is, like, you have to, like, the thing with Crimson, for example, is he was very naive. He wanted to believe in, someone being good and stuff like that, and, just really needing help or whatever. And it's like, no, just don't trust those people who just come in your DMs and ask. Like, I don't chase my commissioners. Like, I don't go in people's DMs and be like, "You want to commission me?" Like, I don't have time for that. I'm too busy doing my commissions. And I only trust people kind of like word to mouth thing, like a little bit. Like, from being an artist, I do know artists, like Loopy, also, yeah, Nazumi, 40 Doodles, I don't know, Falvi, Kita, Kashmir, there's like a ton of people that I could like fact check. Like, I know that those are legit artists. They always have the same style for every new piece that they put out. And exactly, like, if you don't know the person and you're like, okay, what they're doing is really nice, it's like Nizumi was saying, look if the style is consistent. Look if there's any flaws. Like I said, like, it is so common with AI that they fuck up fingers, like fingers and hands and eyes. My God, there's nothing right with that shit. Like, you'll notice very quickly. Like, there is flaws. Look at the art, very closely. See if there is flaws, because artists will not do little flaws. Like, if you watch them streaming, you will see how much attention they pay to tiny details, how much detail they'll put in those tiny little things that you won't see when you look at the big picture. But yeah, it's always good to know someone specifically, or just like look at their portfolio, look at their art, look at what they're producing. Maybe see if like someone commissioned them before. And exactly, the thing is, like, exactly with AI art, you won't get a sketch, you won't get work in progress. They will just send you the finished piece, like, boom, here you have it, and it's like, no, that's not what I was expecting. So they won't be able to prove or show step by steps of what they did to get to that point. They'll just be like, okay, here, hope you're happy with it. So yeah, that's my 2 cents about it.
Alrighty, and 40. 40? It's 40, right? Because I got Nezumi, I got Nezumi, I got 40, and I got Nuna. Now it's your turn, 40. Yes, okay.
I think so, yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Yeah, so, sorry, could I get the question one more time?
So the question is, it's basically a two-parter. It's, have you ever been scammed into someone trying to sell you AI art, and then just advice you can give to everybody who's tuning into our streams on how to detect or what to do in situations if you feel like you're being scammed?
Okay, yeah, so I haven't been scammed for AI art specifically. I was targeted for a employment scam where essentially it's just a method for someone puts up a fake job opening and they do it to get like your social security information. I was able to catch it, but from that I kind of learned what some of the habits of like people like this who try to like pull these kind of scams. Always be aware of when they're very urgent. They'll use urgency to make you kind of overlook things and just like join in on the scam as quickly as possible. When it comes to the internet, they will also sometimes use like trying to extort your empathy, sort of like what Quest mentioned of them saying that like they're in trouble. But that can also be a form of using urgency to control you. And sometimes they'll use your curiosity. A whole lot of AI will just come into your DMs and just say hi or hey, or like try to be casual with you. It's really kind of like what Nizumi and Quest and Nuna were all saying. Like, be sure to do a quick background check, like check their profiles, check their what they're posting. That's just kind of like good in general whenever you're like being accosted by a stranger. Um, but uh, but that like in general, like what Quest said of artists won't like hunt you down and like try to force you to commission them. Like that's something that's pretty exclusive just to like scam artists and AI artists. Um, like you can kind of tell that like you can tell that if they weren't actively trying to like get you in on this, they wouldn't be working on their own. And like that kind of goes along with checking their profile and seeing what they've created, because we're still at a point where although some things sometimes you can get a decent image with AI generation, there's still always going to be those like little hints, like check the hands, the eyes, small details. People in the background often get obscured as well. But very often, like they'll be promoting that stuff when there isn't much like quality to their work. Like the bots that have followed or liked my stuff that tried to promote like, hey, here's like graphic design for your stream. A lot of that was just like the same like cookie cutter logos just produced again and again, and it got to the point where like if I saw a specific font or a certain art style, I could tell, okay, that's a bot. I'm just gonna block them. So it really it really is a matter of vigilance. Just remember how they approached you. Keep an eye on some of their language, as well as the quality of their work. But yeah, there are tells. Like if you're paying attention, you can tell when someone's trying to scam you. It can be difficult. I mean, they try to make themselves seem believable, but there are things, if you're paying enough attention, you can see the little like like cracks in their disguise.
Thank you, 40. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to take
Mark?
our 15-minute. Oh, what's up?
I was gonna say just as
Oh,
one
go ahead.
last note because I haven't heard
Yeah,
it.
go ahead.
Other
ahead.
thing, one of the other things to check that hasn't been said, honestly, account age. So a lot of these scammers just got into this. The big bulk of them, they were chasing other things before. So if you don't see that they have any art potentially, and they just from before 6 months ago, it's the same. It's the same as if you were vetting someone who would be stealing art potentially too. Being able to see work in progress is good, but then some artists will also have a lot of their your character here's that you can use to figure out the turnaround time as well. If the turnaround time seems uncannily fast, like a day, as opposed to maybe more like a week because someone's got to take time, work in multiple stages, those are the other things. It's since this works so much faster than a person, but then these scammers, a lot of them wouldn't have even made a lot of these accounts, or they're making new accounts because old ones got found out and banned. That's how you'll notice, like, you've only been on this for a month and you've got all these art pieces. You didn't just suddenly join.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up. Actually, I'll add one last thing. Also check if they have just a series of numbers behind their name, like not just like, oh, Jimmy 98, but like Jimmy 985679, like a serial number. That's also a tell of like bot accounts. But yeah, the age is a good point because like again, whether they're a scam artist or a bot, very often they've made these accounts recently, and with bot accounts, it's very possible that they made them like in bulk. Because honestly, I swear so many of these like Twitter bots just come from the same like original producer, and then they're just unleashed on the website.
They're definitely made in bulk. The kind of software that people use is just Python scripts going through web pages. Yeah, and they have to do them in bulk because sometimes they're making sock puppet accounts just so they can quote like a single AI art account. So if you see AI generated art, it's got 1,000 likes. That might not be real people at all. There were scams of people who were getting pushed up on Twitter where it was just bots all favoring one person. So someone went out to another firm, paid them to make 1,000 bots, or they had 1,000 bots made 2 years or 1 year ago, and they all suddenly started following.
Wow, that's a good
yeah.
point. That.
Yeah,
There's articles on this. Even Elon Musk, for all of his shenanigans, was complaining to Twitter saying, okay, so how many accounts do you know are bots?
Yeah.
People forget that when he bought it. Yeah.
Yeah, he hates bots when they're not like promoting him. As long as they're on his side, on his side, he likes them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will say this before we go to break. Foxton brought up a good point, and I believe this is what we as artists need to do better of. Foxton said earlier, let me find it, because like I can understand this not just from a customer side and as a personal customer who's been a victim of this. What about the people that have been burned by artists? Me buying one of them would rather, if I can't do it myself, then I'd rather use AI so I don't get taken advantage of or burn again. Usually, like, you know, when you commission an artist and they don't, you never get it. You never get it. And I think personally, that's just one thing us as artists need to do better of, because if we can't be committed to, you know, meeting deadlines, or even just like, you know, refunding, or even bringing art to the customer who paid for it, that does, I feel, put us at a like, I feel that does put us at fault, and us at a potential not only losing a customer but losing people to AI. You know, I think that's the one thing, especially in the furry community. You know, I know that I have been in that similar boat where I have lost hundreds of dollars to an artist who never gave me art. I still have it, but I'm also a very patient person, you know. But I know the regular the regular person would probably be all like, you know what, I want my money back, and they'd be like, I can't, I had to use it to buy stuff. You know, that's what I think. And like that's just my little like closing statement. I feel that AI has gotten too far, like it is, and it's just in the like tip of the iceberg, you know. And I am scared of what the future has. But I think as far as us as furries or writers, I feel like we just have to be committed, especially as illustrators. We have to meet deadlines with customers. Like if we lose them, we could potentially that could be a win for AI because, you know, somebody could be all like, you know, I didn't get this art, or you know, I didn't get what I wanted. I got screwed out of money, so I'm just gonna make my own art. Why should I bother paying it when I can just make it myself? You know, I just feel as artists we need to be better at being more committed, meeting our deadlines, and all that stuff, just so we don't get robbed of we don't rob somebody of their, you know, hard-earned cash.
Definitely. And communication is also super important.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. That's something that is a huge flaw that I've noticed with artists. Like I try to communicate as much as I can, you know, say like, okay, tomorrow I'll be continuing on your art, or you know, I'm gonna be streaming it at this time, or here's a little bit of like I show work in progresses like all the time. Sometimes, you know, like I do there is moments where I'm like, okay, they won't notice much of like what I changed on this work in progress. So, you know, like that's why I usually like stream my art, that they see like all the little things that I'm doing. But communication is a big one. Like Venmar, for example, gets very angry if an artist tells him, okay, I will give you a work in progress or more information about your art on Monday. And then it's Wednesday and they still didn't say anything, where Venmar's like, okay, I don't like this. They told me that they're going to do something, they're not doing it, and he gets pissed for it. And I get that. You know, like not everyone has, you know, like patience, or, you know, like if you tell them something and then you don't do it in the end, that's
Right.
not cool. That doesn't show, you know, trustworthy, like, you know, stick to what you say. You know, that's why I don't personally give specific deadlines. Like I will tell them, okay, I have this many people in front of you right now in my queue. I don't know exactly how much time that'll take me. It can take a while for me to be done with it, you know. And it's also written in my TAWs that it could take me to, you know, like a few months to make something. You know, like I try to be consistent with it. I do, you know, stream my art all the time so that they can see specifically what is being worked on and how much detail and time I'm putting into the stuff, you know, because I don't want to rush it. But yeah, that's something that, you know, like artists also have to improve on, is definitely communicating things. And if, you know, like people want like transparency and like changes to things or whatever, you know, just like to be able to talk about it, because like sometimes, you know, you won't talk to your clients enough. You'll make like a work in progress, and then all of a sudden they didn't have really like the time to like tell you that something bothers them, and then you're already starting the color, and then you have to like completely redo something because, you know, you didn't have the patience to wait. And like I don't know, communication is like a big thing too.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, that will go. I'm sorry, words. Anyway, that will wrap up my section of the talk. We're gonna go ahead and take a 15-minute break. Nezumi, Quest, and Nuna, can I have you guys get a game giveaway raffle started up? I'm gonna go ahead and get one started up as well, since we all have combined a total of 5 subs or followers. That was for those just joining in, every time me, Quest, Nezumi, or Nuna get a total combined of 5 subs or followers, we're gonna do a game giveaway raffle, because I have so many games I'm trying to get rid of on my Fanatical page, so I can get new ones. So I have game keys for so many games. So when you can, Nezumi, Quest, and Nuna, can you guys get a free game giveaway raffle up?
Yeah, like I
Okay.
could do like a
Doing it
picker
now.
wheel.
Okay, how long should we do it for?
All right. However long you guys want, because what's gonna happen is you guys just I'm in all your guys' stream, and I'll when you find a winner, just have them pick a number between, let's see, I have 15 games between 1 and 15, and I'll DM you guys the game and the game code. It is, the disclaimer is, it's for people, you have to have a Steam account. If you don't have Steam, it won't work.
Okay.
Sweet. Okay, so at this moment, you guys can go ahead and do 15 minutes. I'm gonna chill out in the VC. I'm gonna bring my Never Have I Ever and my little mini games and stuff back up. So if people wanna, you know, hang out and be a part of this not guilty, this torture with me, I would greatly appreciate it. But you guys are more than welcome to also hang with your chat for 15 minutes. But if you guys do, just feel free to deafen yourself, okay?
Okay.
All right, sweet. All right, 15 minutes. I'll see you guys in 15 minutes.
All right, see you guys later.
Hello.
Hey. Alrighty. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Okay.
We are
So
back.
yes. So I did message Nuna, Nazumi, and Quest. Let me know DM me the numbers, the number or whatever the winner wants, and I'll send you the game key and the game they want, okay?
Got it.
All right. And also, just because I know that um the stream is going on a lot longer than like a lot of us normally stream, I will say if anybody needs to step out, don't feel like you have to stay here till the end. You're more than welcome to dip out whenever you need, because I know for some of you guys it's getting late. For some of you guys, you have plans in the evening that are outside your normal time frame. You will not upset anybody. If you need to pop out, you're more than welcome to.
Exactly. And my segment will only last probably less than an hour. It's just mostly jargon talk about the legal side of everything. So
Okay.
it won't take too long.
Yeah, sounds good on me.
Okay. Before we start my segment, Death Isper popped in a question. He said, what about people that are using complete AI generated VO, that's voiceovers, that isn't based on real people? I can see an indie developer that wants voice acted parts using AI generated voice to change their own. Do you think that would be okay and not considered a gray area with using AI?
You know, I have no problem. Like I said, it's scary with how we can use a public figure's voice. I feel like in situations if it's I feel like that still falls under profit. And I mean, maybe the gray line could be if the voice actor or actress gives you their consent, but I feel like they would rather do it for the money, or like they could say, hey, if you want to use an AI of my voice, you have to go over this contract. I can't say certain things like this, and I need to get some kind of compensation. If it's for personal use, like if you're just doing like a little like fun project and you want to have like a oh my god, I've always wanted to have like, I don't know, Chris Pratt. I've always wanted Chris Pratt to do the voice of this character. That's fine. Like if it's for personal gain, I mean not personal gain, if it's for just like a personal fun project, sure. But if you're gonna use it for like professional work, maybe there's a gray line if you can talk to the voice actor, though I'm almost 100% sure they'd rather either do it or get some kind of compensation. But that's my opinion.
I think what Death is asking is if it's completely AI generated. I don't think it means borrowing from another person's voice, but like kind of like a filter in a way to change their own voice and alter it a little bit as voices in their own indie game. Would that be okay, or is that still considered a gray area for AI usage?
Oh, that's a good question.
What do you guys think? I mean, I guess
That's
if it's
an interesting one.
I mean, if it's still technically their voice and it's just enhanced a little, I guess there's.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
It does feel like a grey area, personally.
What you could use, in my opinion, is like instead of using AI, you could actually use, like, for example, a Go XLR, which you could literally change your voice to however you want. You can make it deeper, you can make it more high pitched. You could transform your voice without using a third party.
Okay.
And I would think that might be better, because then you're like not using AI at all. You're using your own voice. You're using your own everything. You know, it's just a machine that you're using to transform.
Good.
Yeah,
Like, kind of like another option.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Since it's more of an effect on a voice rather than like AI generated. I mean, unless you're explicitly using like an AI voice thing, but yeah, I think that's fine. I just wanted to bring up that the game Faith, the Unholy Trinity, all the characters are voiced with like Microsoft Sam, so that's technically a computer generated voice, but I mean it doesn't sound like any normal human being, but that's exactly what they were going for.
Interesting.
Ooh.
That is interesting.
And that kind of leads them into a really good segment here because my first discussion to talk about is with the Kindle and the Kindle Unlimited through Amazon. They decided to reverse their rules on not allowing synthetic voices in the Kindle books. So now they are saying that, okay, you can have a synthetic voice to your Audible or to your audiobook, but we don't get compensated for that. We don't get any profits from that. But that's also driving human narrators out of business because we rely on them to create our audiobooks. And that's basically just displacing voiceovers and voice actors out of business because they are pushing this and they're emphasizing it to drive their sales. So we lose, as writers, we're losing a part of that profit because we're not getting anything from the synthetic voices that are being created on top of our Kindles. And we have no control over that.
In
So
my
people
opinion,
can
like,
buy the Kindle version cheaper and not want to get our hardcovers or our paperback editions. So that drives a negative profit for us because it's cheaper to get the Kindle now because it's synthetic.
true.
So, I mean, again, my problem with AI is that we're only filling the pockets of like the oligarch billionaires. We're not trying to help protect our artists, whether you're a writer, a sculptor, an artist, a commission artist, a VTuber artist, whatever have you, whatever kind of art you're dealing with, we're not offered enough protection in return from this. And hi, Sansuo. So here's where we run into the issue. I think AI is a great tool. It's cool, it's quirky, it's freaky, and it's useful. For some of us, it makes our jobs a lot easier and a lot faster. For others, though, depending on the AI usage and from the resource pool that it's pulling from, it's damaging our protective rights about our copywritten material. By law, we have every right to protect our works. Anything that we publish, anything that we produce, falls under copywritten territory. Unfortunately, there are people out there who think they're lawyers and are using the terminologies of what's considered free use and copyright inappropriately, and they are wrong. You can't use the law to voice an opinion and change the law because that's no longer the same thing. So what I'm going to be discussing on this portion is the legal ramifications with people abusing AI and basically saying, "Oh no, I'm not taking copyright. This is for use. This is, it's out there for the public to use." No, it's incorrect. So what exactly is copyright and what exactly is fair use? Fair use versus copyright is only goes so far as being able to use it without making money off of it. A copyright gives you full ownership of the work, allowing you to claim it as your own and potentially making money off of it. You are the original source of that product, therefore you own copyright. Okay? What is the difference between fair use and copyright infringement? What is fair use? It is not an infringement of copyright if works fall under the fair use exception of the copyright law. Fair use extends to the reproduction of copyrighted material for purposes only such as criticism, commenting, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, or research. There is no exception to that. Your opinion doesn't matter. This is facts. This is the law. You cannot breach copyright law. It's illegal across the world, no matter what interpretation of copyright that they have. It's illegal. I'm looking at you, China. All right.
Yep.
So, fair use of a copyrighted work is not an infringement of copyright. Fair use gives users the right to use copyrighted material without permission under certain circumstances. If it is fair use, the user needs to not notify or seek permission from the copyright holder. In other words, you're using it for either commenting or teaching or whatever have you, or reacting. Although reaction videos lately haven't gone under fire because people are either not commenting on it enough to be considered fair use, or because what's his face? The really popular YouTuber who does reaction videos all the time.
There's so many.
was
SS Sniper Wolf.
Oh, we're not
Oh
going to
God,
talk about
SS
Sniper
Sniper
Wolf,
Wolf,
honey.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
that's all I think
she's terrible.
about is Sniper. I'm sorry.
All she
Yeah,
does is
she's
gaming,
got-
though. Well, actually, she's
Yeah.
not really gaming. Her boyfriend does.
There's
but-
people like this who abuse QXC. Thank you, Death Esper. QXC has gotten under fire, as well as many other reactors, who are just sitting there watching the video quietly and not giving enough commentary for reaction. That is breaking copyright because you're not using it to either comment or to critique or anything of that nature. You're using somebody else's material without permission. You're just sitting there watching it. That breaks copyright. That's not fair
Interesting.
use.
Hmm.
Okay. Does everybody follow so far?
Yeah, I didn't know about that aspect. That's like
I honestly did not know that either, to be honest, and I'm
Same.
sorry.
Yep. So there's
Yeah, I
some
think
gray
that's, like,
areas though.
Exactly. I think that's like something that not a lot of people are like knowledgeable of or have heard of that type of rule because I had no idea either.
Yeah.
What about
break it
parody?
down.
Sorry. What about parody? Does that fall under fair use or not?
Parody does fall under, but it depends on what's involved in the parody. If there's a soundtrack, if there's music involved, like a certain beat, if there is certain quotes or phrases or paraphrases that are copyrighted, you do have to seek permission to be able to use it. I mean, we have Weird Al Yankovic as a really good example here. He does parodies all the time, but the thing is, he asks the original copyright holder for permission before he actually produces it.
Okay. Okay, I see
So
you're getting that now.
That's the big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at you, Ice Vanilla Ice.
Oh,
If
Burn.
you know, you know. If you know, you know.
Incidentally, I
Alright.
think Vanilla Ice actually is. He tried to get into NFTs and crypto at some point.
I'm not surprised.
Nope.
I'm honestly not surprised. Okay, so to stipulate what exactly is fair use, there are 4 factors to understand fair use. Okay? Number 1, the purpose and character of the use, including whether it is of a commercial nature or it's for non-profit educational purposes. Again, the key point here is not to make money off of it. Okay, that's a key component in this. Number 2, the nature of the copyrighted work also makes a difference. For instance, parodies. Parodies, it depends on what's within the parody that's considered copyright and fair use. That's a huge gray area because it deals with a lot of different varieties of factors. So it's very, very gray. Number 3, the amount and sustainability of the portion used in relation to the copyrighted work as a whole. like we said, about the reaction videos. I know people hate it when people pause videos and then they talk about it and then they unpause and then they pause again. But that constitutes as fair use because you're not just sitting there watching the whole video in silence and then reacting to it. Because then you're breaking copyright right there because you're using somebody else's whole thing without actually commenting or adding commentary to it while it is playing. Okay. Number 4, the effect of the use upon the potential market for or value of the copyrighted material. So this will also go under like defamation and things like that. If you're using copyrighted material to defame somebody, then it's against copyright. You can't use it in fair use. Like, for instance, Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears right now are having an all out legal battle because Britney Spears published a memoir, and part of her memoir had discussed the relationship that they had in the past. And he's saying that her content, even though it is her written copyrighted material, she's using that to defame him and damage his career. So he has every right to sue her because that's also breaking it, because that's not considered fair use, because that private personal information was not stipulated and agreed upon with consent. So therefore, not fair use.
Yeah, I get
Okay.
that.
Well, I don't mean to cut you off, but if like in situations like that, shouldn't she have the right to at least? Because I feel like it's more of like this is my side of the story of what happened, or maybe I'm just not understanding the whole thing. Like it can't be like, is it like supposed to be in his eyes like defamation, meaning that she's lying, or like what's the case with that? Because I didn't even know that was happening.
I
We're,
think
we're not
private
exactly sure.
information.
It falls under defamation though because she's shining a dark bad light on him, calling him abusive, calling him not a very caring lover, or he seemed very disinterested in bed, and there's so many factors, and we're not exactly sure what's true because all of this again is hearsay. We don't really have the facts directly from either Brittany or Justin unless you've read the memoir. It's just there's all sorts of stipulations, but we don't have enough evidence to determine exactly what she said that's construed as defamation and whether it is true or not. But he still has the right to sue her under that law. Don't really know.
That is interesting. I don't know. I feel like there has to be a gray line with that. I don't mean to like keep this up.
No,
I
no,
just
no. You're
that's my
fine.
that's my opinion because I feel like if unless I don't know, I just feel like there's a side to every story, and I feel that's her freedom to express her side. Like she's telling her side. He says his side. She says her side. I don't know.
I think it's
I-
because she
Honestly,
mentioned name, and that's like the part where it's like,
yeah, honestly, if I were them, I would just issue a gag order on both of them. Have her redact anything that was said in the book and republish it, and then just go from there.
Okay.
That's really the only
Okay.
thing they can do for both parties for, equal things. She's not defaming him. All she has to do is just take that part out of the book and republish it, and that's it. But, since these are two big celebrity heads and they've both got really big egos, they're going to fight over this regardless.
you want to know something that I find very interesting?
Uh huh.
Germany has a specific privacy law. So get this. I accidentally locked my car keys in my car. I looked for like me and Venmar, we accidentally locked it because the thing is my key was broken, so we had to lock it manually from inside. So forgot the keys in the car, we were locked out. We were in a parking garage at a mall. We looked on the internet, we found a service that, could, open up my car to be able to get my key out. They scratched the shit out of my car, like they were doing a horrible job, and they took forever to open it. And they told us that it would cost $500. I am not joking. It was like the weekend or something, and they were like, mm. So they were like, don't worry about it though, your insurance will cover it. Blah. We pay the 500 because we're completely just lost and confused about everything, and we just did not know what to do, so we did it, and we thought we were getting paid back by our insurance, but that didn't happen. It was a scam, aka. We called the police and wanted to know if they can attack them, pretty much because we were in a parking garage. There is cameras. They could see the people's car and what they looked like and the license plate. And you know what they told us? They wish they could look at the cameras, but there's something called the privacy law. They could be infringing the privacy of the people who scammed us.
Really?
Then what's the whole point of having the CCTVs if they're not going to be used for protection?
They were not allowed to look at the cameras because, it would be infringing the privacy of the criminals.
Oh, God.
Would they be able to subpoena that then?
Huh?
Would they be able to subpoena that?
Nope. It's a law here in Germany. You're not allowed to have like dash cam footages, for example. You're also not allowed to go in public and vlog or something, because if someone is caught on the camera in the background, they could sue you because they did not consent to being on your video. So even if you're at like a FurCon or something and you're filming, you can't do that. Because you would have to have everyone's consent to be on the video, or they can sue you due to privacy law.
How do you guys get public video at public events? Do you guys not have news stations or anything that record live? Because if I saw myself on the news, I guess I'd go, hey, I see myself in the background, I'm gonna like sue you. Like, my gosh, I'm so confused. I thought we had it rough out here. My gosh.
Yeah, I don't like. Okay, apparently Venmar's saying right now that they actually changed it now for public events. It's allowed, but like, yeah, for example, us for the longest time at FurCons, we didn't make any videos where someone else was there. We made pictures of ourselves and stuff, and with people who consented. But yeah. A photo or a video or anything that portrays someone else, like, yeah, you are allowed to get sued because you are infringing their privacy. Like, for example, like if I try to do something with like a lawyer or a company or just whatever for whatever case, they can't communicate with each other due to privacy law, which is like, it's so dumb.
Wait.
It's a public event. Oh, go ahead, Desiree.
Is this EU law? Or is it just specific for Germany?
I think it is, yeah. Like, it's a specific law here for sure.
Oh, okay.
I'd expect that. Oh, yeah. I'd expect that more in Nuna's area, because I know South Korea has some pretty strict guidelines and stuff. That's something I expect in South Korea, not Germany.
yeah, this place is bad about that kind of stuff too. Like, I swear to God, like, it hurts. Just the stupidness. I think we had another example that was really good too, but I don't remember. But that was the best one, where it's like, these people scammed us out of $500, and they can't look at the license plate because they're not allowed to look at the video footage. It's like,
it's your job.
That is dumb.
That is literally your job.
Yeah,
you are being paid for that.
And I am the victim. And they told us that they've been trying to like stop those people for like the longest time. It's like, it was so dumb. It was so dumb.
Yeah. Sometimes the laws are against us.
Derek Wise. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Gonna be okay.
Oh, we had a mental breakdown about that. Because we were like, how dumb were we? The cops were like, why didn't you guys just call us if you were like, skeptical about the price? It's like, well, we didn't know. They just slapped us in the face with that, and we thought they were like a legit business. It's like the first thing that popped up on Google, and they looked like a very professional, normal website. But like, there was a few red flags where I should have been like, okay, maybe let's not get these people. But yeah, we did it like we didn't expect it, and yeah, it smacked us with a 500 euro bill. So like, it was hard. It was hard. We felt dumb.
Oof.
Alrighty. So to explain more about things that are considered fair use and things that are considered copywritten material, I think this will help you guys kind of understand why a lot of us are against AI, especially with copyright protections and protecting our works and protecting our profits and our dignity. So I'm going to use a case So this is a case from Harper and Row versus Nation Enterprises. It's a case involving a news magazine publishing thing. So basically, the magazine published a small excerpt from a soon-to-be published presidential memoir without permission. The fact that the work is unpublished is less likely important if the work was not created for publication or is not about to be published, like a letter in an archive. So after Harper and Row, Congress amended the fair use statute to clarify that fair use can apply to unpublished materials or WIPs, work in progresses. Those are still under protection of the copyright law. Okay? So even if your project isn't complete, even if it's a work in progress, if it is complete, it doesn't matter. You're still protected by copyright law. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
work is creative, now this is key point against AI here. Using a creative work weighs against fair use because the strength of the copyright is greater for creative works at the core of copyright protection, such as novels, paintings, songs, and artwork. Okay? The current use
Okay.
of AI goes against that policy because you're generating information that's been taken and stolen from copyrighted works. It is not fair use. People need to stop learning, or people need to stop using the terminologies improperly. They need to educate themselves and understand that fair use does not detonate to all works that are on the internet. We are still offered protections, and you cannot break that protection because that law is greater than fair use. Now, what is fair use is anything that's in public domain that you can use that's not licensed by copyright. That is fair use. Okay?
Yeah.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
let's
just
see.
wanted to chime in real quick. I'm very curious to see what happens if like someone tries to start doing like AI stuff with like Disney content, or like kind of how Disney's going to weigh in on this, since here in the US I think Olfhelm mentioned this earlier, they've really abused the copyright system where like almost to the point where they use it to put down other people's copyrights. But since like AI generated stuff is already like a like copyright and legality nightmare, um, I don't know. I'm just thinking to myself like, how much of a fiasco is it going to be once like Disney tries to? I mean, I feel like it's inevitable that they'll try to get into like AI stuff as well. I mean, they got into NFTs, so wondering what kind of like legal nightmare that's going to cause once they dip their toes into AI and start raising the question of like, okay, what is copyright at this point?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question with
Exactly.
such a big fish, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So to kind of wrap all of that up, my opinion on all of this, AI in its current stance is not helpful to anyone except for lining the pockets of the rich and the corporates and crossing the lines of copywritten materials. It's important. I even hired a lawyer for an entire year to make sure that when I published my book, my very first book, that it was protected. Now it's kind of moot point because now my Kindle is up for grabs because now they can generate AI voice and I lose part of my profits because of that. So much for that.
Oof.
But on the legal side of things, it's shady and it's breaking all of the rules. From a creative and entertainment point of view, it's taking our careers and destroying our creative institutions. So it's out of control and it needs to be regulated and not use copywritten material without permission. That's basically what this is all about.
Yeah, that for sure. Like in the mainstream system and stuff, like using it for those kind of like purposes is definitely like wrong. And
Yep.
like
Yeah.
I said, like I would personally though, as a like if I would build like a business, like I said though, I would be really scared using AI and stuff because of like, you know, the regulations that might come. You know, I wouldn't want to start with something that could be heavy regulated afterwards. And I mean, I hope, like, I mean, regulations will probably come because it's out of hand. Like, there's so much that you could do with AI, and it goes, you know, with defamation, just everything. So I think that some regulations will be made to probably like protect like people's like safety or, you know, like privacy again, or, you know, like to go against like defamation and stuff like that. And a lot of people are kind of like waking up to AI and are not pleased about it in general. Like, some people are like really mad when they saw like Huion, Wacom, Square Enix, and all that are using like AI for like some of their stuff, and you know, I think people will get backlash from that. So I'm like really curious to see how things are going to evolve.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, we might get a test sooner than later, especially when it comes to Disney. The problem was with Disney, they'll probably be safe using AI because they have their own content protected for 100 years, basically. Plus, they bought Fox, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars. They probably have
Yeah.
enough content on their own to not have to go outside.
True. That is very
Yeah,
true.
technically, like since you mentioned that, like I guess they technically have already like started since I think it was for Secret Wars, the TV
Yep.
special. Yeah, they were using AI art to promote that, and that's already getting into like a whole nother demographic that they're screwing over with VFX artists, where most of that show was done in like CG or by green screen, just because VFX artists were not unionized, so they could wring out as much content out of them as possible because they didn't have to answer to a union.
Yeah. And for another segment about writing, there was a question asked earlier: how to identify or detect AI writing. There are a couple of programs out there that do offer services to see if it is generated by AI or Chat GDP or whatnot, but they're not 100% certain or accurate. Again, this is still fairly young and it's still in the works. So there's no 100% guarantee, but especially I, as a teacher, I've been using a program called Trace GPT, and basically you insert your essay or your student's work or whatever have you. You can insert it in there and it'll spit it back out to tell you a certain percentage of what could have been done by an AI or by Chat GDP or whatnot. So there's some interesting programs out there that can kind of help you, but they're not 100% accurate, at least not in its current state.
Yeah.
And, and AI writing can be traceable. It's possible, but again, not 100% accurate. And there's a lot of classrooms, especially a lot of schools lately across the world, that have banned technology from their classrooms, especially during exams, because they're finding that their students, because these happen in China, a lot of the students are using chat GDPs to answer their questions, and they're basically cheating.
Of course.
Oh yeah, now that you mention that, early on the socks place in my chat mentioned something about that. They said there's a proposal at the school district that they work at about banning AI for teaching and instruction, and it'll be voted on before next year's start of the school year.
Oof.
Oh.
Oof.
Yeah, oof.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I know in the U.S. as well, there was also a lot of debate about like, especially in colleges, like using Chat GPT to like write essays and stuff. So it's the controversy kind of like never really got started. Like they said, like okay, this is an issue, but they've been kind of silent on it. I mean, the U.S. was already having issues with like the legitimacy of like colleges, like because on top of that, there was also a lot of stuff of like it doesn't matter what your grades are, people just pay their way in. So
Varsity
U.S. is a
Blues scandal.
say again.
The Varsity Blues scandal, where
Yeah,
rich people basically just had photoshopped photos playing sports or doctored essays. Yeah, there was a
Oh,
whole
wow.
industry behind it.
oh,
That
yeah.
was before AI. Now it's so much cheaper.
Oh jeez.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. Like when you think of it, it's like, oof. was wondering too about like AI and stuff. When you have a rendered AI image, um, like I always try to understand how it works because like I like dabbed around just a little bit with it to see like what it comes up with and stuff like that, and just see how it works and whatnot. Um, okay, so does it literally mash up hundreds of pictures together to make something, or can it technically look almost exactly like an image that it saw on the internet? Because that's where I wonder sometimes also if like an artist could be like, yo, this looks hardcore like my piece of art. Can they can you see that? Like, can you do something about that? Like, that's what I wonder. Like, can it be like so similar that you're like, bro, that's like definitely a ripoff of my art, or does it like just mash up thousands of things and just makes up something? Like,
It's not
how exactly
mashing.
does it work?
So, if does anyone here remember early on OpenAI AI Dungeon when it was coming out? At some point, that company put out its own image generator, and they were saying, "How many steps do you want to take?" A bunch of the early AI generators for art were doing this. They were starting with what looked like static on a TV, and then at each step, it was changing pixels based off what it thought it needed to do. So it could take 200 iterations coming from that static and then forming it to match. I'm trying to think of a better way to describe it. It is a black box, but it's not that it's necessarily mashing, it's forming over many, many, many steps.
Yeah, it's kind of like what I was like trying to get at. I'm just really bad with words. Like, yeah, like I sometimes wonder like how it comes up with the art. I mean, of course, like you try to detail your search, so to speak, like as detailed as possible and stuff for it to like come up with stuff. But like sometimes I was just wondering how does it come up with the art?
So let's just say you typed in just a baseball on a white background. It's going to know that it needs a circle somewhere to form, and on each step, it's going to change the color of what is background and what is inside, so that it just gets closer and closer. It's it's really step by step. That's also why they say it's so intensive on the GPUs, is because it has to. It's not like it can just define one section finished, another section finished. It has to work over the whole image space every step.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember a few streamers would do like bits with I forget what the name of it was, but specifically the like image AI. I know one actually did like crash their computer or crash their stream just because it was like so intensive on their computer.
Oh
I'm not
wow.
sure if it's gotten like better about that. Like it's not as intensive as it used to be, but yeah, I do remember like early versions like would cause crashes just because it like took so much of the GPU.
It definitely got better, so at some point they figured out they could throw away precision. So instead of using 32-bit numbers, they could use 16 or 8. So then they didn't need, they only needed half the space or a quarter of the space. I remember because when COVID started, I was using somebody's university project. I had some old furry convention footage at 4K 30. I was just trying to render the frames in between, looking realistic, and that sucker took up on a 1080p image 16 gigabytes. I had to rent out a card from Amazon just to process back then.
Wow.
Wow.
But it was, hey, there were no events. Everyone was shut down, and I thought, it's like, okay, well, I've got some old footage from MFF last year. Let's see if maybe I can increase and put it on YouTube. Takes days to render minutes, but no, as they've gotten better, they figured out where they could throw out redundancy, so it's definitely gotten more compact.
I see. Yeah. Yeah, like we have like this one like because we tried and we like did like shits and giggles, like looked at some of the stuff. We have like this one like I guess it's a website where you could use like the AI and stuff, and that thing was like yeah, it was really funny. But like I use it with my phone and everything, like, and it doesn't seem to do anything like too crazy. But yeah, it's absolutely wild what it comes up with and stuff. It's just like yeah, it is so wonky.
I just had to do a bot check. I got 2 bots banned in my chat.
See, and I'm sure those bots are also AI.
They
You can't
probably
fucking
saw, that
escape
we're
them.
talking about that kind of stuff.
No. Like, quick question. And this is for all of us, since we're all also streamers. What is your guys' like? Nuna, what is this website that you use? Is it Twitch Insights?
Yes, Twitch Insights is a freaking useful website. It basically, all you have to do is copy and paste a user's name, and it'll show you their username and then how many live channels they are active in. According to Twitch's current regulations, only 4 of your tabs count as a view. Okay?
Huh.
Counts as a valid view. So if you're watching 4 people right now, only 4 of those are going to have your view as a count. Bots don't act as a view. But some of them are sleeper bots. Some of them will activate hate raids if they're in your streams long enough. Some of them can activate and steal and hack your account. Some can try to dox you. They can steal your information. So it is your best interest to get rid of all of these bots in your chats.
Well, I mean, and not just that. I feel like that's something that a lot of us need to have to start doing. And I'm glad Nuna and Fox had introduced it to me. And I think that if you guys haven't already, 40, Quest, and Nezumi, I think you guys should also look into having either doing that. Like if you have a break or if you have a mod who can check for you. Oh, thanks, Nuna. Thanks for sharing the link.
you.
Yeah, that's a great. And anybody in the chat who is a streamer, it is really good to, or a moderator.
Oh,
yeah,
here
that
we
is
go.
really good use. Yeah, just because of the whole the whole thing that Nuna just said of hate raids coming in. And that's really scary because these bots are also on when you're offline. So
Yep.
I think not to mention, I feel like, isn't it possible they can also be people that get gift subs?
Yep.
Like I
Because
feel
they act
like,
as an actual account.
yeah. So I think that you definitely should look into that. If you guys are streamers in my chat or in any of Nuna's, Quest, Nezumi's, or 40s, if you guys are also streamers, and if you guys have the chance, you should look into that, you guys, because I did not know that was the whole issue with bots. I just thought it was just, oh, you know what? It's a viewer for me. That's fine. It's gonna keep my view rate up. I did not know for the longest time that's what bots did.
Some of them are very toxic and dangerous, and it's unfortunately not identified or explained by Twitch themselves. For some reason, they're refusing to give information about how to protect yourselves. The only thing that they've really done is for us to increase security, like as in only verified people with phone numbers and email addresses can chat in our chats. That's the only thing that they have offered, but we still get bots in our chats. They can still watch us. They don't necessarily have to follow us.
What I don't understand is is the Twitch Insight, is that made from Twitch or is that from another party? Oh, okay, because I was gonna say if Twitch knows what bots are active, why do they not just kick them? Right? But okay.
I believe
it's a third party.
Yeah, and I believe Twitch Insight, I believe it is nothing. It's not like something you add to your Twitch or anything. It's not like a robot or anything. Basically, it's just a site that has all of these users who are in like thousands of streams. Because let's be real, there's nobody who would actually have 1,000+ tabs open unless they're a bot.
No.
So
and you see it with the names often, like what they're.
Yeah, and all you have to do is just either you or have one of your mods, every I don't know, what do you do, Nuna? Is every hour you just ask for mods to do a bot check?
Yeah, usually if the mods don't do it for me, I usually just quietly do it on my own, and I copy and paste the names, and I see if they're in 14,000 channels. I'm like, oh, it's a bot. Okay, just ban them quietly.
Right. Yeah, funny enough, since I've been streaming, I haven't had that many problems with bots. Like for example, hate raid, never had one. Spam raid,
you were lucky.
Never had one.
I've never seen one.
Yeah, I've never.
I have seen some, but never had one.
I was active, very active streamer. I streamed 7 times a week when the Haas raids came through. If you guys know anything about the Hotspots raids, those this was the before the time that Twitch decided to give us our own security for our own channels. The hotspots were the bane of our existence because they would interfere with the flow of your stream. You would have to stop whatever you're doing, and there's like hundreds of bots just following you constantly. So your alert box is going off. It's interrupted the flow, and it's just constant raids. And this was before they had shield activation available for us. So we had to stop stream, clear out all the bots. We had to manually ban every single bot.
Interesting.
Wow.
It was a terrible time. And then the hate raids came in after that. And people will copy and paste lots of derogatory terminology that breaks TOS. And unfortunately, as us streamers, we are held responsible for what people type in our chats. So if they say the N word, if they're throwing the F bombs everywhere, if they're saying derogatory terminology towards anybody, we lose access to our accounts, and we actually either get banned or perma-banned from accessing our account because of the content that's posted there, even if it was a bot. And the whole appeal process with Twitch can take months.
That's wild.
So you're without money or access to your account for months. And it sucks.
Wow.
Twitch still needs to get better at that.
Yeah.
It was rough.
Yeah, but thank you for sharing that link.
Of
Yeah,
course.
I've been using Seribot for a while, ever since the hate raid started. But yeah, I'll definitely look into that. So thank you.
Yeah, Freya
It's
in
much
my
easier,
channel
and
just
I also use
sorry, Freya in my channel just recommended Seribot as well for that very reason.
Yep, Nuna was the one who recommended. No, wait, no, I think no, Luska. No, Nuna recommended Twitch Insight, which is definitely good because Siri, I don't believe, can catch bots like that. They can prevent hate raids and stuff. But Nuna was the one who told me about Twitch Insights, which is really good to help get those bots that are in your chat. Which again, I still think they're AI, but they can get those bots out so they can prevent your channel from getting into serious situations that Nuna went through and stuff. So SiriBot and Twitch Insights are gonna be pretty good, and I think they could keep your Steam, your stream safe from the hate raids and all that bullshit that happens.
I also use Commander Root. Commander Root is perfect because not only can you ban people, especially at a massive rate, you can also block, because again, there is a difference between block and banning.
Yeah, I
Banning
believe.
means that
Oh,
they
go ahead.
can't. Banning means they can't type in your chat, but they can still view your stream. Blocking means it blocks both the chat and the view, so they can't see your content.
Yeah, that's what Camelot said that they use is Commander Root Twitch tool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very useful.
Interesting. Yeah, because right now I'm typing some names. And it's, in 93,000 chats, and I'm just like,
Yep.
"Ooh."
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea about all this. That's why I'm checking some of them.
Quest is on a
This is why-
quest.
This is why Twitch needs to provide better information resources for content creators to pull from to better protect themselves and their communities. It sucks that we have to do all of this on our own. We have to literally be self-sufficient as streamers to protect ourselves, because they're not going to help us and they're not going to do it for us. So it's up to us to be able to communicate with each other and spread awareness and spread all of this information, because corporates like them, they're not going to really give us what we need to protect ourselves. We got to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the end of my segment. Are there any questions, comments, concerns that need to be raised? Does anybody else have anything to fill in? Any other topics of discussions with AI before we wrap up?
I thought it was very insightful and I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same here.
Yeah, I look, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I have very strong opinions on AI, okay? Like, at first I thought it was just this bad thing that's tearing us apart. But you know, I think talking it with you guys, I don't know about you guys, but my opinion has changed. I still don't think that everybody should have access to AI. I feel like it could be a great tool, especially for like given the situation. For like an example, like me and Quest both said that we both believe AI is good for like drawing in the sense of using a reference. Because I mean, when we draw and we want to get better, we use other people's art as reference. You know, not to like
Yeah.
trace over, but to like just see as a reference. So I don't see any harm there. But I
Yeah, for,
still
like, pose and stuff, you know, like if you're kind of like, you know, art blocks a little bit or whatever, it's good to have it like as a pose, kind of like a reference, just being like, oh, that's a nice angle. I never thought of drawing in that angle, or you know, stuff like that. So
exactly.
Yeah.
I could see AI being a tool, and tools are useful. But I can also see AI as a weapon. You know, they may not like physically hurt people, but they can mentally and emotionally hurt people. Like when Olfhelm brought up how um these mothers were attacking their child's like bullies and wanting them to unalive themselves. Like that is using it as a weapon. And like any weapon, it could be bad if it's in the wrong hands, you know, whether it's
Yeah.
like defamation, whether it's trying to like impersonate somebody or stealing, you know, other people's ideas and stuff. I feel like it could be a very, very powerful weapon. It could be a tool, but it can also be a weapon. Um, but what about you guys? Do you guys have any like do you guys have any closing statements? Does anybody in any of the streams have any questions they want to ask?
Don't see any
we'll take
more new
questions, we'll take
questions in my
comments.
chat. No.
Tyrion wants to know, can I get detention?
Drawing.
Does Crystal Teacher
10
need
lines.
to provide some punishment?
You know what? No. Before we end this, I feel like I have been a victim earlier because I had to never have I ever and plead the fifth. So I want you all to do this with me before we all call it a day and go on about our lives, because I feel like I have been like a victim.
you're such a poor victim, Terrari.
I am a victim. I have a. I'm a human being. I have emotions too. Damn it,
Georgie.
Sure you're not AI.
Why don't I?
No. We're gonna do one quick round before we call it a day.
All
We're
right.
gonna do it. All right. Here we go. Okay.
Devil's gunning for me. I can
There
see
we go. Yes, Devil. There you go. Devil is already asking 40 to do two truths and a lie. So 40, tell us 3 things. 2 of them are true and 1 of them is a lie, and we all have to guess. And if Devil knows, Devil can't answer because Devil's cheating then.
All right. So here I go. So 2 truths and a lie. So these 3, no particular order. I also have false teeth. I paint Warhammer figurines, and I played soccer in elementary school.
Are you serious?
That's a
Are
tough
you
one.
serious right now? One of these has to be a lie.
I'm guessing it's the
Which one?
soccer one. Because
Warhammer.
I can relate to that.
8th.
Let's see. I mean, are you saying that all your teeth are fake and that you wear dentures, or like you have
No,
like
I meant that like I also have like false teeth, like you mentioned. I won't give
Oh.
away the number.
Oh,
I don't
okay,
wanna be
okay.
Like, oh, I also have 2 false teeth.
You know what? How prone are you to accidents, 40?
Wow.
I
Well,
feel like that's
I did play soccer as
sounds
a
like
kid.
Devil can't play because he'll cheat. I could cheat. It's okay. Hey, I'm the host. If I want to cheat, I want to cheat. I want to cheat. So how prone are you to accidents?
not really. Usually, like the most accidents I get now are just like usually at work, where it's like I'll move. God, I'm really hitting that age where like I'll move something slightly differently, and I just feel like a pop or a sting, and it's like, oh well, I guess I can't do that anymore. I'm too
feel
old
called
to do
out.
that now.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna say it's the Warhammer one. So what do you guys all say? I say it's Warhammer.
Warhammer.
Teeth.
Soccer.
Soccer. But it could be Warhammer too. Like,
All right. Which one is it?
It was Warhammer. I actually know next to nothing about Warhammer. I just like the Mechanicus game. It's fun. But yeah, one of my front teeth is fake because I got into a not quite a full-on fight when I was like very young, like in elementary school, and I tried to do like a mid-air spin kick. That didn't work out, and I lost the tooth.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ouch.
don't. That's what happens when you watch anime when you're young. You think you have superpowers. That was a big mistake.
Yeah.
We all
and,
think we have superpowers.
and yeah, also played soccer in high school. Didn't really stick with it. I kind of focused more on art as I got older.
Mm.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and play I Plead the Fifth, and I'm going to have Quest do it.
Oh.
no.
Okay, Quest. Do you want to do something? Do you want to do something like serious, friendly, juicy? What do you want?
Whatever.
Okay, I'm gonna have Nuna ask then.
Oh, Jirari.
Oh, what's up?
Real quick, unfortunately, I have to start heading out. Really sorry I couldn't stick around till the end, but this was really fun. This is incredible. Thank you so much for inviting me onto this. I really appreciate it, and thank you everyone for,
No
for participating.
problem.
Okay,
Forty,
no
thank
problem.
you so
Thank
much
you.
for
Thanks for
also
coming.
agreeing to come. This meant a lot. This meant a lot to us. We were really happy you were able to take the time. We appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Happy to be here. This was a lot of fun. But yeah, sorry sorry for leaving early. But
No,
yeah,
it's fine. We're wrapping it. We're wrapping up too. We're finishing up.
Yeah, we're wrapping up.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, have a good rest of the stream, and I'll be lurking and listening in.
Awesome.
All right.
We'll see you
Thanks,
later.
Birdie.
Okay.
Yeah, take
Bye.
care, everyone.
See
Also,
you.
everyone, everyone in the chat, follow and subscribe to Jirari. Do it now. Do it for me.
No, no,
Alright.
don't. He's crazy.
All right. Take care, everyone.
All right,
Bye,
40. Bye bye.
You're pretty.
See you, dude. All right, go ahead, Nuna. Let's have since you're the queen of juicy stuff, you go ahead and have it's basically truth or dare. You know the rules. You either have to tell us if it's true, and if you don't want to tell us if it's true or false, you say I plead the fifth, meaning it could be true, it could be false.
Okay.
Okay, let's see here. All right. Let's see. Have you ever had a really juicy dream of someone you know in IRL?
That isn't Venmar.
Before knowing Venmar, yes. Not afterwards.
Okay, that's fair.
Nice
Okay,
save.
okay.
The weirdest thing is having people you absolutely have never ever seen before. I have had that. I don't know the person,
Same.
never seen them on TV, nothing, just boom, in dream. And it's like, who the fuck are you?
Excuse me, get out my tree.
Hey, you can have crushes, or you can have thirsty crushes and still like celebrity thirsty crushes. I mean, and still be married. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not like it's cheating or anything.
no,
it's not
Nobody
cheating, right?
can break my relationship with Sephiroth, okay? Nobody.
I mean, he's a pretty good villain, man.
Sephiroth's the fucking bottom. I don't care what any of you guys say.
No, he's
Phrase my waifu.
absolutely not. He makes Cloud his bottom all the time.
Oh my god. But to be fair, Aerith can make Cloud her bottom. Come on now.
I think
It's
everyone
Cloud after all.
bottoms.
Yeah.
All right, and then last but not least, we're going to redeem Never Have I Ever, and it's going to be with Nazumi.
Uh-oh.
One wing twink. Oh gosh. All right, who wants to torture Nazumi? Who wants to torture
Oh,
Nazumi
God.
this round? And how about this? What do you want, Nazumi? Do you want something like, you know, cookie cutter, or do you just want it to go TOS friendly juicy?
You know what? I'm going to bite the bullet and say TOS juicy friendly. TOS friendly juicy.
All right, Nuna, you're back on board again. I was just gonna ask you something sweet, like never have I ever, you know, stolen something from my parents when I was a kid, or, you know, snuck out to go see a movie or something. So you pretty much just fucked yourself over.
Alright, something juicy for Nazumi. Alright. Let's see. Dear Lord, this is hard to censor myself. I hate you so much. I cannot be my little sussy, horny self and not censor myself.
Oh, they're used to it on my end. Like, you could go for it.
Let's see. Have you ever had an inappropriate urge to do something in public?
Oh.
Um.
And you can't plead the fifth.
You have to say it, Nazumi.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
No, never while watching a movie.
Nope.
Never have you ever?
Nope.
Not a con.
Nope.
That's good.
I'm disappointed. I'm not gonna lie, I'm fucking disappointed.
That's what.
I thought this was kinda like...
I thought I pegged something good, getting that out of him, but
Yeah, well, you missed.
I missed.
I would also not minded like doing like the two questions, like one like two right, two false. That's also like pretty funny.
Nez is like a pure heart guy. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm
Okay.
Mother Teresa.
Of course.
Ooh.
I'm also a total angel. Everyone believes
Yeah,
it.
I believe all of you guys. No. You all need to roll a d20. You're all lying. No, but that's pretty much it for the AI talk. I want to thank Nazumi, 40, Quest, Nuna, and Old Pound for joining me. You guys, thank you so much. You guys were amazing.
Fun.
It was very fun.
Amazing.
It was fun.
Yeah. It was very insightful. It was very knowledgeable, and I enjoyed hearing everybody's opinions. You know, we all have different opinions, but I think at the end of the day, we all can admit. I think we can all admit that there is, you know, some good, but also some bad with AI. So, you know,
Yeah.
just be. I guess when we wrap it up, let's just our last opinions or just like advice just for everybody is, you know, just be careful when you are. You know, if you're being approached by somebody who's trying to offer you art service, you know, just do your research, be insightful, make sure that this, I mean, if they come to you and ask for it, that's already suspicious, you know?
Yeah.
Ask your friends their opinion.
And of course, if you bought a book that has a bunch of misspelling, grammar issues, fragments, you know that it's obviously either it's been published by somebody who should get their writer's privilege removed, or it is all AI generated.
I feel attacked by that comment. You're all right.
So you're telling me I can't go out and publish
Hey.
my R.L. Stein ripoff of Goosebumps, which will be Are You Fine, Headlumps?
Wait, what? How did I attack you? No, hold on. How did I attack? Okay, what's going on?
Rara, you don't remember my little publishing problem I had last year? I edited my book. I didn't hire an editor. I did it myself. Everything in the book is good until you get to the little author bio section in the back of my damn book.
Oh,
Oh.
that one little minute. That one little minute.
I was so passionate about getting my book published, I didn't edit my author bio.
Oof.
I made the mistake of misspelling passionately.
One error, Crystal. Nuna. What? Nuna, one error. That's it. What? I'm talking. Okay, I'm talking about a book that has nothing but spelling errors, like the AI fan fiction writing. Okay, you know that I mean. If someone's publishing a book like that, my God, you put me under all that pressure.
Sentiments and all that.
God, I'm about to get a fucking hemorrhoid from all of you guys.
Ooh, let me help.
Shut up.
Ooh, woo.
Ooh, woo. God, you guys suck. Anyway, no, real talk. Real talk. Go ahead.
Comment, I love how like my chat sees me, like how they're saying we like her less than perfect side.
Hey, listen. This was the other thing about the podcast. It was supposed to be a different side of everybody. You know, this is definitely outside our normal topics, our normal conversations, our normal personalities. Except Nuna. Nuna's like the queen of this, though. This is.
Everyone just knows
What you talking about?
Nuna. I'm gonna whisper something to you, okay? I want you to listen, okay? You're a weird gremlin, but we love you, and you know a lot about this stuff, and we were glad that you were here.
Next one to no one.
Okay, you know what? Then
But
talk to Quest about it. You know, talk to Quest about it then. She's
Yeah.
like the little gremlin over here on the couch, just like prepare to eat us all alive. But yeah, no, real talk.
Yes.
Real talk. It was great to hang out with all of you guys. Thank you again so much for taking the time out of your day to hang out with me. I appreciate it, you guys.
Of course.
No problem.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
But yeah, if you guys haven't already, please give 40 Doodles and Azumi, Quest the Fox, Crystal Nuna, please give them a follow. They are like really good people to me. They make my day happy when I'm feeling down. You know, there are days I'm too busy to even like go and chat with them, but at least I always do my damnest to go at least leave a lurk in their chat just because, you know, I really appreciate these guys. They make me happy.
Mhm.
You make us happy too. Every time I see
Yeah.
your stream, I'm like, yes.
Oh my God, stop it, guys. They're making me blush.
By the way, for the new people who followed me, please also follow my YouTube.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I have an expiration date with Twitch. Long story short, Twitch is pulling out of Korea because of complications. Korea's usage fees are unfortunately worldwide known now as being exceptionally high. So Twitch is pulling out, and I will no longer have access to Twitch after February 27th. I will be making the switch over to YouTube after that and do YouTube Live instead. So I would appreciate if you would help me get a kickstart on my pathway to being an affiliate through YouTube, so I can actually start making money again. I do
Of course.
appreciate it.
Nuna, can you actually post your YouTube channel link in my chat so that people can
Yes,
go
I
subscribe to
can.
your YouTube?
Yes,
On
I
my
can.
end.
Yeah, me too.
Of course.
Also, speaking of YouTube, don't forget to follow me on there as well, because I will be posting this as a VOD later at some
Nice.
point.
Yes, please.
Yeah, no worries.
Yes, you guys.
I shall follow.
Thank you.
But yes, that is going to be a wrap for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. We hope this was insightful. We hope this was helpful.
Yes. We hope
I'm
it was
gl-
still fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. I learned a lot from all of you guys. You know, at first I thought, oh my God, these are just annoying little gremlins that I follow on Twitch who I can't stop being around. And I thought, you know, we're just gonna be like fighting each other, pulling each other's hair. But this was perfect. You know, I'm really glad that we were able to come together and talk about this.
Yeah,
Same.
same. This is actually kind of chill. But yeah, this is more chill than I thought it'd be.
Exactly. I
knew it
totally
would be
agree.
like this. It's gonna be all good.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end my stream here. Are any of you guys gonna still continue streaming who I can raid out to?
No, I'm probably gonna call it a night as well.
Same.
Alrighty. Well, is there anybody you guys want to like raid together?
I
Um,
could look if there's anyone I know.
Let's see who is on. Maybe we
Who's
could
on?
do like a massive raid to them.
Our buns is-
Georgie,
Cool, man.
hydrate more. Move me out finally.
I'm gonna stay on
Shut
for
up.
just a little bit longer and chat a little bit.
okay.
That's
Ari
fine,
Buns
Nuna.
is streaming.
Let's see. Who is it?
Aribuns.
one being
Aribuns.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead then, and I'll go ahead and raid with. I'll double raid with you, Nazumi. And if you guys want to go ahead and mute your or deafen yourself and do your closing. Thanks again for hanging out with me, you guys, and everybody in my chat. Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it.
Of course.
Of course.
Thanks also for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was an honor, you guys. It was an honor to have all of you here. I truly appreciate
Bye,
it.
guys. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.
All right. Bye.
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 everyone.